What is that there? What am I looking at? Let's bring Bill in here when he's ready. So I'm lingering over there. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Got you in the chat, Bill. Currently muted. You're back in, Bill. Bill? Bill?
Well,
You're back here. You're back here, you are. What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Don't touch anything. You're good. Get all set up there. All right, hold on. There's no escape. There's no escape now. How you doing, Bill? What's going on?
Oh, just painting right now. Austrian artilleryman.
Yeah, how you enjoying that?
All right.
Yellow gun carriages, brown coats, and all that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, that's not the right screen. Where is the camera?
Yeah. How you doing? You got a pile of lead there?
Pile of resin.
Resin.
Yeah, little resin troops.
These are all resin too.
Yeah.
3D printed.
There you go. Got your camera up. Yeah, these are, well, I've told you before, really high quality resin. It's probably some of the best figures I've ever painted. The detail is awesome on these. For 10 mil. It's amazing. Yeah, David Astenis, the guy that does ESR, he makes his own line of figures, and these are resin cast. These are his figures that he does.
All right, I've heard of those.
Yeah. Previous to this, I was a big fan of the Magister Militum 10 mil. Yeah. And I still am, kind of, but compared to these figures, the ESR figures, these are way better. Way better.
I heard about ESR by the Wargaming Recon podcast.
Yeah.
Years ago.
You remember David?
Yeah.
He was in the chats a few times back in the day. He's the author of ESR and all this nonsense here.
I never got into it because you know me.
Yes. Oh, the game is it's not hard to learn. It's a freaking easy game. But it's I don't know. I didn't have any problems with it. I think you would probably like it. Have you ever played it? Read it?
No. I'm just talking about the miniatures.
Oh, okay. Couldn't do the 10 mil.
Game, I don't know. No clue. Although the 10 mil kind of makes me go, maybe not.
Yeah.
Step aside.
I gotcha. I'm the same way. Nowadays. I'd rather be doing the 28s.
I got a whole bunch more SVO files.
Yeah?
Prussian Napoleonics.
Prussians?
Oh, yeah.
From who?
It was a Kickstarter that I funded a couple of months ago.
Is it piano? Piano miniatures?
No, it's a different company. Let me bring them up.
You probably showed me before.
It's called Napoleonic STL Files is the name of the company.
Huh. Okay.
So I have I see here. I can share my screen.
There's another base. All right, 1 second. Let me look.
So you got these are wounded figures, which are really nice to have because the black powder and stuff. It's nice to have them as shock markers.
Mm-hmm.
So, here. Am I sharing it?
Hold on, I have to click watch.
Let's see here.
Where's the button to watch? Where is your...
Let me down to that. Let's share.
Watch stream. Okay.
I'm sharing. This is the big honcho in charge.
Mm-hmm.
I would recognize that because it's one of name of the guy that one of your favorite rule systems named after.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. That it?
I don't have them loaded correctly, so let's see here. Here we go. These are Prussian Prussian infantry.
Mm-hmm.
They can have cornet, drummer, officers, standard bearer,
Nice,
and whatnot.
nice.
And they're without heads, so you can actually have the variations. You got some musketeers that are skirmishing, fusiliers. And then you got the variations of heads.
Huh.
You got the ones with the covers. The ones without the covers. And then you can change the heads all around and stuff, so you can have all sorts of different.
Uh-huh.
You probably know more about the Prussians than me, because I'm not.
I painted them once.
I'm assuming these are line infantry.
Yeah.
And then these are some fancy basings on their Shakos, so I'm thinking they're probably some type of fancy unit.
Guard?
I don't know.
Maybe
I have
guard.
No idea.
They did have a guard. They did have guard units. Could be.
Mm.
With the symbol on the Shako plate.
Yeah.
The royal symbol.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. That's the infantry. And then there's all sorts of, and I went in on all the different, not just the infantry, but I got the Prussian Reserve Infantry, I got the Prussian Landwehr Infantry, the Prussian cavalry, then the Prussian Landwehr cavalry, and officers and stuff like that. So full army. So
Nice.
yeah. And the neat thing about the Prussian artillery is I have all the limbers and caissons and whatnot for it too.
Yeah.
So not every so yeah, it's not just the little cannons, but all the accoutrements go with it, like supply wagons and forage wagons and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Did you get command staff and all that? Generals?
Uh, that's what I'm looking slightly disappointed because it's just the uh, main honcho and just those two officers.
Huh.
So, yeah, just have to figure things out. By the time I get to doing the Prussians, probably another company will make a Prussian army
Yeah.
and and that's what I usually do is do multiple companies, and so I have variation of poses and stuff like that. And the nice thing about STL files, STL files, nice thing about them is that you don't have to worry about uh, height of them because you can just simply change it in a slicer for the height. They'll
So,
all match each other. So
so, so do you have to print out? Do you have to print out like some prototypes first to see if they by default match up with each other before you go shrinking them? Or is there a way to do it
yeah,
in your splicer?
yeah, there is a way of doing it with a slicer. If you already have the other STL files,
Yeah.
then by all means you just put them both in there and see how they match up with each other.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Now, with the Austrians here that I'm doing like uh, the piano miniatures as well as the uh, Perry miniatures mixed together. So Perrys are physical; they're not STL files. So I just matched up, and I was lucky that the piano miniatures are about the same height
Huh.
as the Perrys. So there's like they're designed to work with Perrys. So
Convenient.
I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. The uh, the Perry infantry was rather stark, and they're just like hands down by their side with a gun over the shoulder.
Mm.
But the STL files, there's a lot of miniatures where the guy's holding his gun over his elbow and all sorts of other variations, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Better poses, more animated. Parries are kind
Yeah.
of boring. For the most part, anyway, from my experience.
Here. Here we go. So here's some of the Austrians that I've painted up. And this is a mixture of STL files and uh, airy plastics.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
So the arm that's hugging the musket, that's an STL file, but the ones that are just straight are the
Very.
Perrys. And then in the Perry box, no Grenadiers are in there, so those are all STL files. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's a big unit.
Oh yeah.
Go to the channel called The Green Room, Vince. I'll drag you in. Or any of the channels, and I'll just drag you in.
Yeah. I'll do it like I did, and just like
Yeah.
keep jumping away from his room.
Let me go over there and take a look. Let's find Vince. I haven't talked to Vince in forever. You remember Vince, don't you?
I think so.
Vince from up in Canada. Young guy. From back in the day. Haven't talked to him in literally years. So
Yeah?
this will be a first. One more. What's the temperature today, Bill?
It was pretty cold. It's down to 61 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, Long Johns. It's a Long John
Yeah, I got the
night.
heater going on, and I got the cold rugby jersey on just to
Yeah.
keep warm. And it's super cold.
Yeah.
You can't handle it.
No. It got down to -8, eight below zero
It's ridiculous.
the other night. Ooh, it was bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So I'm reading also something that makes me feel even colder. I'm reading the Dr. David Chandler's Campaigns of Napoleon,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on the chapter of the retreat from Moscow. So, so talking about cold,
Yeah.
reading that. Hey,
How you doing, Vince? You there? I see ya. Can't hear ya.
probably way colder in Canada, eh?
Yeah. I would guess. All this cold air is from up there. Come on. Come on, Vince, enough. Let me double check and make sure everything's good on my end.
All hear me?
Oh, we hear you.
You know?
All right. Well, good morning, gentlemen.
There he is with the improved accent.
Yeah, pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
You even got the little A in there.
Yeah,
I've been
you
around
do.
Ontario. I'm a truck driver now, so I got to be used to it.
Yeah, I bet. Awesome. It's good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, glad to be back. Funny thing, you mentioned you thought about me 2 days ago, but I actually thought about you guys like yesterday, I think. And just today, I managed to find the group there. It's Tabletop Commanders, eh?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one, because I got a lot of groups on Facebook, and I couldn't find the group, and I had a hard time finding your Facebook profile, because I remember back in the day it was Pierre Brown, I think, eh?
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've had a few since then. Yeah, Alan Fritz, that's the one. I sent you a request, so we should be good.
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Excellent. So I haven't seen any
So,
posts from you recently, so I figured, oh, I forgot about him. He's not. How am I going to find him? I don't hear from him anymore. But sure enough, there he is. It is funny, Bill, because yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before. No, it was the last time I was in a chat. So I think that was Saturday. I was talking about Vince. I was thinking about him. And just out of the blue, all of a sudden, for the first time after years, and we're talking years, maybe 6 years, all of a sudden here he shows up in the chat. It's like, hey, what's going on? That's pretty interesting.
A lot of shit went by in those past 6 years.
Yeah. Paintball. I know that happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. I had that. Oh shit, I forgot it. I used to play airsoft back in the day. I think.
Yeah.
Been a long time. I'm crazy 19-year-old stories.
Yeah. How old are you now?
I'm 27 now.
27? Are you kidding me? Holy
Oh yeah.
cow.
My knees tell me I'm going to 30 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, got a spouse. Been together for 3 years.
3 years.
She's got two daughters, teenagers,
Yeah.
and
Instant family.
yeah. That way you don't have to manage kids at a young age and all. We're gonna have our time alone to ourselves in 5, 6 years.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the best of both worlds for me.
Well, congratulations, man. That's great.
outstanding.
Thank you, mate.
So, go on.
Go ahead.
So, what have you been doing hobby-wise in this whole interim period? Have you been just out of the hobby, a little bit dry, or taking a break, or just coming back now? What's been going on?
Well, 5 years ago, actually, I took a massive break, and when I got back into it, of course, it's with Battle Group. Battle Group has been the lifeblood of my hobby for 6 years now.
Oh, jeez.
And I sold a lot of my old 4K stuff, and I got back into it 4 years ago. 5 years ago, actually. And I'm falling out of it again because, well, I wrote my entire rule set for 40K because I just don't enjoy what Games Workshop are writing. And me and my mates we're pretty much on historicals now. We've got Franco-Prussia and 10 mil, World War II. We're big World War II fans. We're me, my cousin, and my best friend. We always play Battle Group together, like once a month. I've got World War I and 10 mil. I want to get one of those cigar box mats that fit, the Italy.
Yeah. Yeah. Italy.
Italy theme, and I'm gonna do that. I got Austro-Hungarians and Italians, and I think my biggest project actually was rebasing my entire 50 mil collection.
Wow. Pretty massive.
Yeah, I had all of those on a single basis, and when you got stuff to do and you work a lot, well, we don't have a lot of time. And once I looked at my buddies and I said, we just spent half an hour just setting up our armies and looking for like the LMGs and stuff and squad leaders and assembling them. So why don't we just multi-base and put a counter in for casualties and stuff? Man, our games will be way much faster, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing now. I'm basing 2 or 3 figures on each base, and that way I can play like Battle Group or Chain of Command, I Am Being Shot Mom, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Now, how about you guys? I see, Bill, you got, what are those, 28 mils?
Oh yeah, 28 millimeter. Napoleonics.
Oh yeah, that's right. I started that too. Shit, I got a
Did you?
start of a French and Russian army from Perry Miniatures.
Wow.
Sweet.
I haven't touched those in a while.
That's okay.
You playing like Black Powder or Sharp Practice?
Black powder right now, but we might switch to something else. I got a couple of different war games that I've picked up on PDF and might give a whack with, like General de Armée
Yeah.
or Sharps Practice 2. Um, I might do all sorts of different things. Yeah. Also, I've had a major change in my life here, Curtis.
What happened?
I quit the post office. I'm no longer a mailman.
Really?
Yeah.
You quit?
I went to the trucking school and I just graduated and got my CDL license. I say driver's license.
Huh.
So
Just like Vince.
I
Here.
just put in the application for hazmat, and so I'll be doing the endorsements tests pretty soon now.
Wow.
Probably early next week. So,
Wow. Congratulations on that. One to the next.
yeah.
That's good.
Oh, well. Yeah. Then I'll be trucking too, just
Yeah.
like Vince.
Yeah. I know 3 truckers now. Vince, Bill, and Jeremy. Can't think of the name of his channel on YouTube. We all know him. Jeremy. He's out Midwest. He's a trucker. Huh. Well, that's great, man. Yeah, this is better for you. You didn't really like. Well, I suppose you like it better, right, than the job at the post office.
Yeah. I used to do trucking when I was a soldier in the army. So,
Gotcha.
and I used to deliver 40,000 gallons of JP8.
Yeah.
And I was a trucker in the army, so yeah, driving a Freightliner.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do the same thing in the civilian world. So maybe not JP8, but maybe other fuels or something like that.
So Vince, did you have to go through trucking school and all that? Get your licenses and all that? You must have. You there, Vince? Can't hear you. Vince? Well, that's great, man. That's a life change for sure. How long were you at the post office?
About 8 months.
8 months.
Yep.
That's not too bad. Time to move on.
Alright, the 1 hour one, which is up now on entryway speaker. Cancelled.
Builders smart house.
Yeah. I got a Google Home.
You do.
You know. Okay, Google, tell me a joke.
No.
Why did the school kids leave their homework?
What was it? She got cut off right at the punchline.
Okay, Google, tell me a joke.
How do trees access the internet? They log in.
Okay. Dun-dun-dun-ts. All right, that's a good one. Log in. Well, you're all set. That's where you come up with your dad jokes, isn't it? That's how you do it. You sit around all day asking for jokes. Oh boy.
Oh, I drive my wife insane.
I bet.
I ask
Lost you guys there for a minute.
Yeah, you disappeared.
people. Yeah.
We hear you now. Go ahead,
All
Bill.
right.
You were saying, Bill?
Okay, Google, did you just fart?
Sure, I'll take the fall for this one, and I will fart again to clear all doubts. Sure, I'll take the fall for this one, and I
Wow.
will fart again to clear all doubts.
Wow. Okay.
Nah, that's what I call technology.
Yeah.
Taking the blame out of humans.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
Yeah, so if Terminator 2 happens, I'll be the first to die because they'll be like, you made me fart so many times. Made me tell so many stupid jokes.
Amazing. I'm actually in my car right now, and I'm trying to get my phone to go into my car, and so far we got no luck. So, but if it's working, then it's working.
Here you know.
Yeah.
All right, good. I got to get a new setup for live fame stats and stuff like that.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, you still got.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I missed that because I remember I always used to bust on you because you never had a camera or whatever was going on with your camera. You went out and you bought a brand new camera at the time, and it just, whatever it was always zoomed in on your face. So you always had this big giant face on the screen. Never forget
God,
that.
I remember that.
Yeah, just a big giant face.
Yeah, because I had so much trouble with that cam, and I eventually threw it away.
I bet you did.
I actually had it duct taped to the top of my screen in such an angle so it could at least be functional.
Yeah. That's the way to do
I've
it.
got a duct tape marks on my monitor.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, you'll have to get all set up. Get some painting in with us.
I mean, I've got way too many projects, and none of that's gonna paint itself. Eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Still don't understand why I started 28 mil Napoleonics with all the projects I currently have, but I guess sometimes wind blows by, eh?
Well, 28 mil is my scale. I love it, so I don't blame you. I was doing it in 28, then I had to sell it all off. But I prefer 28s. Bill, he's big in the 28s.
There's just something about it, eh?
Huh?
There's something about it. I don't know what it is because my friend's a big fan of big battles with like 6 mil or 10 mil, but I still got the 28s and he likes it. But the thing I love about it is the figures they did, especially the metal figures from Pair Miniatures. They feel so heavy and so satisfying that
Yeah,
I can't describe it actually.
yeah, that's the thing. What do you think, Bill?
Well, I do the Perry plastics and I do a bunch of STL files. So I print up in resin most of my miniatures these days. I've drifted from metal miniatures.
Yeah, you print out like with filament or resin printer.
I've got both, but miniatures I print in resin.
The good stuff.
I'll print rain and plastic.
I always feel like 3D printing has a huge entry bar Seems to be a lot to learn, because it's an amazing tool and a lot of things you can print out, especially for terrain and all. And but I heard you have to get like ventilation for resin. Is that it, or is it something I heard?
It's recommended. I've got a nice workshop that I just go out to, and I'll just wear a rebreather, so I don't have to worry about it.
Probably definitely I'm gonna do when we finally find a house, because we're trying to buy a house in Canada. It's not easy, and
Well,
I want to set up a workshop where I can vent stuff out. So because like right now it's only -6, but yesterday was -22, and yesterday was a good day to paint. But I didn't have anything primed, and the problem with metals is airbrush primer won't cut it, so you need to go outside with a rattle can, and of course that won't work at -22. But
ouch.
if I was inside and I had a nice ventilation system, I could use a 3D printer, an airbrush, or even those rattle cans. I'm sure it would work. That's the project for 2025.
Yeah. I don't have those issues out here in Arizona, so
Nope.
You're in Arizona.
yeah.
Weren't you the guys who had snow this week?
Florida.
Southern Arizona.
Well, that's Florida. No, Florida just got snow, I think.
Yeah, they did. Byron was telling me about it.
You're up in Vermont, Fritz?
Vermont? No, I lived up in Massachusetts, but that was before I got back in the hobby. I came back in 2012, 2011. And I'm back in Pennsylvania now for the last...
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. That's where I'm at. That's where you know me.
That was a nice place. Not too high up.
Yeah.
But Curtis does something that is unforgivable. He lives in Pennsylvania, and he's
Oh.
never been to a Historicon.
I've been to Historicon. I've been to Historic. I used to go there back in the day. I haven't been there in
Unforgivable that you're not there each year. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what the hell, man? I live in Quebec. We've got nothing.
I am going. I've made plans to go and get involved in some tournaments, some Ancients tournaments with Triumph. So I am going to do that, so.
Oh yeah, ancient. That's pretty big nowadays, eh? In 50 mil. I've seen a lot of stuff. Even Plastic Soldier Company got those like.
Mm-hmm.
Were they 3D printed stuff, or remember, or the soft plastic resins or stuff? But yeah, do you play Ancients in 50 mil too, or?
I've always played it in 15 mil. I've only ever played it in 15 mil. I had a whole huge feudal English army that was gigantic, and I sold a big chunk of it, and I still got a couple armies out of it right now. But all my other stuff, that was sold too. My Romans, my Gaul army, my Seleucids, my Spartans, my Normans. I had all those armies, and I sold them. I had to. But I'm back into it now. You know, I'm collecting 15s again for the most part. I am going to do 28s for the Arthurian era. I'm going to do that in 28. But for the most part...
Oh, with like the fairy miniature stuff, or?
I was thinking for my 28s it would be like Gripping Beast. Or...
Oh, that's right. Gripping Beast. My God, I haven't heard from those guys in a long time. I've seen... Fireforge Games has released a lot of stuff recently in 28.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Gripping Beast. Weren't they the guys that made the Saga?
Yep, that's them. They did the Saga. There's another company too. There's Gripping Beast, and then there's another company. Who the heck are they? That's pretty well known. Is it Victrix? I think it's Victrix, actually.
Victrix, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
you've got a lovely range. That's actually something that made me think about doing Ancients in 28. Just how lovely the Victrix range is.
Mm-hmm.
And Victrix released recently, well, a couple of years ago, 12 mil World War II figures, and now I want to just sell off my entire collection and start all over again in 10, 12 mil.
Yeah. I painted up an army for a battle group in 12 mil Victrix. I think
Oh yeah,
British, was it British? I think it was a British army that I did for a guy. Yeah, they're wonderful figures, man.
And I do a smaller.
well, maybe it's just because the Canadian loonie is really, really poor right now, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 46 Canadian for 6 tanks. That's actually pretty expensive, but they're really lovely.
I haven't really played the battle group, but our group played O group for a while.
Yep.
And we're using the old Flames of War miniatures for that. I could share a screen. You said that you're doing Italian campaign, right?
Yeah, soon enough. I'm gonna start building that next week, actually. Well, for World War One, that is.
Oh, okay. Because we did for World War II. This is our World War II Italian terrain battle of an O group battle. We're using the poker chips as reconnaissance elements for the game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Heard a lot of O group. Generally, the two fat lordies have been really, really successful with their World War II rule sets. See Chain of Command and O group all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
O group is good. I've played it a few times. I enjoyed it a lot.
It seems that they got like 3 systems: one for platoon, one for company, and one for all group for battalion. And they share a lot of basic mechanics, and I think that's great. I'm trying to get my friends into I Ain't Been Shot, Mom. Yeah, we've played Battle Group for 6-7 years now, and I've got almost all the books except for the Italian front. And sometimes, even though if you really love the game, you just need a bit of fresh air, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
What I'm building right now is a mashup of rules from Battle Group and I Am Been Shot, Man. And so far, I think it's going to work pretty well. Completely the new rule set, homebrew, and going to play that. You know, me and my friends, we're kind of picky on small things, especially my friend there is like, second, there's something that's not historically accurate to his mind. It's like, oh man, you got to change that. And also, I just said, you know what? Let's build an entire rule set for ourselves, you know? And we'll pick off details from Chain of Command or the Shop Mom and Power Group, and it'll be our super rule set, you know?
Yeah.
When you're making Italian terrain, bear in mind with these cypress trees, they're simply 3-inch nails that I've filed the tips of them off and just put clump foliage on them.
That's simple.
Yeah. That's a good idea, Bill. You got any pictures of that?
I'm showing it right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it's in the screen share. He's streaming his pictures. You have to click on Watch Now. You'll be able to see it.
Keyboard and phone is different.
The orchards I made out of green scrubby things.
Scrubby.
Lichen?
No, the scrubby pads, the green scrubby pads. I
Oh,
just
yeah,
cut
yeah,
them up.
like,
Do you see them in the foreground in the picture there?
I'm still trying to find the option on my phone. Um, how does that work?
Come on, Vince, you got this. You're an old pro. Come on.
I'm born in 97. I can do this.
Ah, jeez. I know what you mean, Bill. Little spongies.
The spongy pads. They're usually for cleaning up dishes and stuff.
Yeah, I got some.
Yeah, the Scotch Brite stuff. It's awesome when you're painting walls in an entire house and you spill some tiles and stuff.
Cut
I
them up
never
in
thought
like.
that.
Well, you just cut them up into one-up strips and then spray paint them dark green and then dry brush them with the green to make them look like vineyards.
Yeah.
So.
That's a good idea. And thanks for the tip because Italian terrain is something I never approached, and I didn't know where to start. Actually, I had no idea. I know I've got to represent mountain passes and stuff like that for the Isonzo front, but I think I'm just gonna rely on a cigar box mat that you can put stuff under it, and it kind of shapes itself since it's kind of like a cloth mat. Actually, I think it's you, Fritz, that showed me a cigar box mat like 6-7 years ago.
Yep, I was all about that. I still am. They're awesome. I was doing all my Flames of War and Battle Group with cigar bottle box mats. Put together some nice looking tables. Not as good as Bill's. I mean, look at that. Come on.
Now
I can't find the option.
the ruined Coliseum on the right is an aquarium model. So if you go to a pet store, you can get that model at a pet store.
Good idea, Bill.
Can you see the pictures, Vince?
Yeah, I can see it through you. Yeah. Oh, now that's nice looking.
Now, a lot of the
of
buildings.
details going on.
I just got the texture of the tile roofs from a model terrain store, and then I got some leftover lumber and just cut them up into little blocks, and then just glued
Mm-hmm.
and painted them up.
Yeah, that looks good.
And the classic, that's the classic Italian house. It's kind of beige with like this red crimson rooftop.
Yeah. So some of them are resin ones that I got, but the majority of them are just like wooden blocks with the tile texture I just glued on top of them.
Yeah, and for the vineyards, and you see, you said nails with clump foliage for the trees, eh?
Yep, that's over to the right on that picture are the cypress trees.
That's lovely.
There's another picture of cypress trees and then the aquarium Coliseum.
Wait, man. Actually, the cypress trees, I wouldn't have guessed it's a nail with clump foliage. They look really good.
Yeah.
It screams Italy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
pretty.
does. definitely.
I made a bunch
And
of
I
trees
think
like
in the
that
background
myself.
there's kind of like a. Oh, sorry, Fritz.
I made a bunch of cypress trees like that myself, but I used actual limbs. Your idea is better, though. Freaking nails, man. Go ahead, Vince.
Brilliant. I see Bill in the background, and we got like a mountainside, a cliffside.
Yeah,
What is
yeah, that's just foam like
Oh yeah,
installation
look at
foam,
that.
and then I just cut it up and textured it and dry brushed it.
I love the colors you use too. It looks so natural.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting me all hyped up for Italy now.
So that's an overview of the terrain there.
Yeah, I like that. It's like casino there. And what were you playing?
Oh, group.
Oh, yeah. 15s. Very nice.
And this was old Planes of War models that we were playing with. So
Yep, I've done that. Pretty doable.
Or a company or a platoon.
it's a battalion level game.
So a big one.
Yeah.
Big battle.
So it's a German battalion against an American battalion. And Americans won. Yay.
I bet
Even
the
though
Brits
the
are gonna reach Rome first, though.
Yeah.
How
Even though
big?
the Germans showed up with the Tiger was like ineffectual because at this command level, the Americans just bombarded the Tiger continually with smoke. It just made it useless.
That's how you do it. So how big was your battlefield?
8x4.
Yep, nice.
Then what map are you using?
With what?
Map?
You got a play mat in underneath for all the terrain, or?
Well, it's cloth that I used spray paint to spray like little patches of green and glued some flocking to and stuff.
That's ingenious.
So it's not
Well,
as fancy as a cigar box mat.
the problem is the cigar box mat are come in 6x4s, and me and my mates are looking to do a 2x4. So we're kind of gonna have to find another solution. But for the Italian front, we're gonna do 6x4 since we're in Telmail, and all right, gentlemen, I'll have to leave you for a good 30 minutes, and I'll be back later.
All right, Vince, we'll be here.
Take care.
Cheers. See you later.
All right, Vince. Toodaloo. Let me click this.
Blue stream. All right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Shrink that down. Well, that's pretty cool. We talked to Vince. Holy smokes. He'll be back. It's been a long time. There we go. We'll leave it like that. Slam.
Rumble Slam?
Yeah. Did you play it?
No. Are you into wrestling?
Yeah, kinda. Uh, well, Mini Warmont, I guess Palmer as well. They've been doing it. I'm fascinated by it. It's like, oh, really? This would be so freaking fun. So I've been looking it up, and Warmont's been telling me about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna look into this.
Uh,
Rumble Slam. That would be freaking cool.
Yeah, I almost jumped on the board with the Malediction game,
Yeah.
but decided not to.
Why?
Um,
Too many Kickstarters?
yeah, well, I got this Napoleonic thing going on right now, and I didn't. And Blue Studios hasn't made any games like that before, so I didn't know if it would be any good.
Mm.
So I'm still looking at it with the apprehension of, oh, if it's bad, then see if the reviews are good for it, and then if it's good, then I'll jump on board later.
Yeah, that's the chance you take. Kickstarters. I've done 2 Kickstarters in my life now. I'm up to 2.
Oh, yeah?
Just 2.
Sweet.
I did Dragonbane, which was a role-playing game, Swedish role-playing game. And I did the Kickstarter for... what is it called? It's a board game with miniatures, dungeon crawling, campaignish type game. What is it called? Oh, League of Dungeoneers.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I got a huge box full of goodies with that one. The funny thing is, it doesn't come with any miniatures except doors, but what it does come with is in this case cardboard standees, which are really top quality, so they don't actually do any miniatures for it. But the thing is, most people actually go on to print their stuff or use miniatures and sculpt the dungeons. It's what people do anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Really good game.
Sweet.
Yeah, me and Jesse went in on that together. So yeah, 2 Kickstarters. Woohoo! How do you like that?
We got a board game coming soon. Just paid for the shipping for the Kickstarter, which is a good sign. It's called Root.
Root? Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's supposed to be like a board game war game
Yeah.
with cute and cuddly
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah. Different.
I got it for my wife because she likes board games.
Hmm.
But my alternate motive is to get her into wargaming.
Yeah. There you go. Has she tried wargaming or no? Just never tried it or what?
She has, but she's not really had good experiences with it. So
Huh.
the last one I got her to play was Frostgrave.
Yeah, that's a good one. And she didn't like it.
Yeah, because the magic I was using against her was kind of
Go easy, Bill. Go easy. You're trying to get her in.
yeah.
What'd you
But
do?
I was thinking I was using illusionist against her, and I was able to teleport stuff and exchange stuff on the table.
Yeah, that'll piss her off.
And I think that yeah, what soured the game was when I transported her wizard in front of a giant carnivorous spider.
Yep. That's
And
that.
she was like, "What the heck?"
Had to go easy.
Yeah, I know.
He just couldn't resist. Oh, I gotta destroy somebody finally. Oh man. Oh well.
Plus the spells for illusionists are kind of annoying too.
Yeah, I've never played it. I read it like a couple times. It just wasn't my thing. I've never tried it. I'd probably try it now. Mainly because I didn't like D20s in my games. But it was kind of cool that they did it with a D20 because it was very reminiscent of like a role playing experience, you know, with the D20, which was kind of cool. But I don't know, it didn't sell with me.
She picked a necromancer
You
because she thought that was cool. But the necromancers don't start off very powerful,
know,
and so it's really hard at the beginning for necromancers to do anything. You know, when they get powerful, then they can drain life and stuff like that from opponents. But
not a good starter.
I don't think so. I think it's good for someone who's seasoned at the game, but I think Elementalist would have been a better start for her, but she insisted on doing the necromancer, so I'm like, okay. Because the Elementalist, you just throw fireballs at everyone.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. I got an extra grenadier here. I think I will put the flags on the standard bearers before I base them. I think I'm gonna have to.
Okey-dokey.
I think I'm gonna have to. Because these are resin and bendy and I don't want them to snap.
Oh, the standards are resin.
No, the standards are paper, but I fold them and twist them and I turn them once I put them on. They're like,
But the poles are resin.
the poles are resin, yeah.
I would cut them off and then just replace them
Oh, I can't do that
with
now.
metal wire.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Too late now.
Because the
Though.
resin's way too weak, you know. I'm rough on my miniatures.
Oh, I could do the Jaeger. Let's do some Jaeger. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Do some Jaeger.
5.
Be the Jägermeister.
Yeah. Let me see here. What are these guys? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 battalions, I think. 8 cornet players, 8 officers, so there must be 8 battalions. And they don't have flags. So, geez, that's a lot
That's
of...
typical.
A lot of normal
My
guys.
my Jaegers for my Austrians don't have any flags, so I prefer it that way. They're skirmishing.
It's 3 battalions. 4. 4. Gotta make sure I got the right number of models of each type here for a base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is this a personal project or a commission?
Commission. Yeah, it's commission. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. That's another base right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases. I'm short some models, so I'll put these separate. See if I can get another base out of it later. So 7. Yeah, I can do
Sabine
that
wants
now.
to say hello.
Let me look and see.
Sabine wants to know what you're doing.
Ah. Hello. Hanging out, chilling.
Now Ahsoka,
Go ahead.
yeah, Ahsoka's trying to bite at her tail.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, that's not cool. Come on over here. Bite at her tail when she's. No, it's her turn to bite at your tail.
Ah.
It's Ahsoka.
Ah. That is a beautiful dog.
All right, so
What is
hold
it?
your hold your paintbrush. Oh, come on.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Oh. Oh well. Oh yeah, she's a Labra healer,
Uh-huh. Beautiful dog.
Labrador and healer mix. Are you Ahsoka?
Aw. So you got 2 dogs.
Oh, I got 3 dogs, but
3
the
dogs.
other dog in the other room. Ah.
Dum, 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 dum. Likes hanging out in the
Alrighty.
chat. Hanging out, chilling. Yep.
I know it's someone who I didn't tell you that I was going to bring onto the chat with me, Curtis. Hope I'm not in trouble.
You're fine.
She's uninvited.
Stealing the show. Aw.
Sabine. Sabine. What are you doing, Sabine? What are you doing over there? Come on over here. Sabine. Yeah, I knock on the door. What are you doing? Come on over here. Alrighty. Enough of that.
Can't be bothered.
I gotta go pick up my wife from work.
Yeah.
See you later.
All right, Bill. Thanks, man. To lose. Let's shrink that down. It's a little too big. There we go. So I'll do a few bases of Jaeger here. See how that comes out. Need 8 Jaeger. And 2 command figures, an officer and a cornet. What's that guy? These guys are grenadiers. I guess. I guess I have 8 grenadiers. Alright, so it would be 7 Jaeger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then get these guys organized better. All over the place. Ossifers. Need some ossifers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need how many? 7? Ugh, I'm getting confused. So that was awesome hearing from Vince. I mean, hopefully we'll see him a little bit again here. Two, 3. So 7. Need 3 more. 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. One to 3. I got 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So these guys are extra. Boy, I'm getting a lot of little extras. So I don't need 8, I need 7. Let's pull from there. Get 3 of these guys off the base. And that should be 1 battalion. Yeah, I think I'll do the flags before I mount the standard bearers, just so I have a little more room to twist and turn that flag, because I don't want it to bend the banner pole and snap it, which can happen. Should have thought of that. Okay, let's see if we can put one of these bases together. We'll do the whole thing. Hi, Nordic. You missed some special guests. Unless you were lurking. Had some special guests here today. I'm doing fantastic, man. The weather was nicer today. Granted, it was still cold, but man. Compared to what it's been, just ridiculously brutal. My kitchen is a mess. Things are frozen. It's pretty bad when your kitchen is 15 degrees. I checked it last night when I came in from walking the dog. And it was like 15 degrees in the game room kitchen area. Holy smokes. And tonight it's only supposed to be 8. Jane is bad. I'll take that. Give me an 8. Yeah, hopefully I got my good friend, and you can verify this. Do you remember the other day? I think it was the last chat, which was what, Monday? Maybe Saturday? I was talking about a friend of mine from Canada, and I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name, so you wouldn't remember. But I mentioned it in the stream. A really good friend, young guy up in Canada. Haven't talked to him in years, like maybe 6 years or something. Just see him on Facebook. He's living his life, you know. Getting into airsoft and the ladies and all that stuff. All of a sudden, in today's chat, he shows up, just out of the blue. And he was just telling me in the chat, around the time that I was thinking of him, he was thinking of me in the chats that we used to do. So it's like, ooh, what's going on here? So there was a little vibe there. But he showed up today. He came in the chat. We chatted for the first time in, yeah, about 6, maybe more years. But he's an old hat from back in the day. Bill was in here with me as well. He was also an old hat from back in the day. We first started doing these. That was great. Vince might come back. He said, give me 3 minutes. It's been about 10. But he's going to be fun to talk to. He's got that French-Canadian accent. And he's got a whole bunch of projects that he's getting into. And a lot of stories to tell. A lot has happened. He's married, for one. Go figure. It does indeed. It does indeed. That's all right. French Canadian's all right. There is a difference. Maybe he'll speak some Canadian French. French Canadian. Yeah, he's a good guy. I think I asked him how old he was because it's been a while, and I was kind of in shock when he told me. I think he said 27. I remember him when I guess he was a teenager or something, like 19 or something. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. I couldn't believe it. It's been that freaking long. It's always interesting when you get back with people you haven't seen. In forever. How you been, Nordic? Outside of the garage debacle? Doing a little neighborhood fancy work? Handyman work? Fancy work? Why did I say fancy work? Because it's Nordic. He's a fancy man. Yes, he is. Doing some basing here at the moment. That's probably all I'm going to do today is the basing. I'm not going to start the flags yet. I want to get a good start on these. A start. I'm going to keep the standard bearers separate because I'm going to put the flags on before the basing. Because it'll be easier since these are resin. Oh, hold on, I got a little message here from somewhere. Take care of that. Rumble Slam. Kyle's working. He's busy. As ever. How he does it in this kind of weather. I'm kicking myself in the rear to order some 10mm Pendraken AWI. That's a good choice. They got a really nice line. It tempted me back in the day. And Napoleonic troops. I have been soul searching, and the age of muskets is what I want to paint and collect. There you go. The flag has been planted. I do it the same way. Got to prioritize. Do what you enjoy the most. A little taken aback. I finished White Plains last night and set up Karuna OSG. Yeah, but no need talking about things here, but yeah, it's all right. Just give it time. That's all. I love James. And he goes through things and I can understand, so we'll just let that go. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's the period that draws me in more than any other, Fritz. I keep coming back to it in my mind over the years. It's just what I enjoy the most. I'm the same way. There's certain periods that really resonate with me, and you know, you have to prioritize those things, but it's so easy to be distracted, right? It's so easy to be distracted because one minute you're looking at your favorite thing and then all of a sudden, ooh, that looks good too. And then you start thinking, well, all the things you could do with that. It's like discovering something new. But, you know, I find that in the end, you always end up coming back to that original thing. You know, it's like that. Like I'm big in the American War of Independence. It's like a personal thing for me. I really connect with that era. Not just the battles and the war, but the life and how people lived and the culture. Same thing with English Civil War. It's the bigger picture. I just love it. And those are the ones I always know are going to be there, and I may end up painting. More likely than something else that really doesn't trump. Like Boxer Rebellion. Let's do the Boxer Rebellion. Maybe I'm watching the Sand Pebbles or something for the 100th time and really inspired. And maybe I buy a book, but then I'm thinking, this comes and goes. I know this. Why do I want to dig and invest time and money and resources into that? It's just, I want to do this. It's always there for me. Let's go back to the AWI. So you kind of prioritize. There's plenty of time to explore later, Something like that. I'm going to play some small battles from the Library of Napoleonic Battles series over the next few weeks to get my mind back into the series before going after the bigger battles, like Waterloo. History was the American Civil, French Indian War, 7 Years' War, Napoleonic History, Great Northern War. Don't forget Pontiac's Rebellion. That's in there. Was it 1760 something? 67 or something? That's in there. All that fits perfectly. Yeah. I've got a soft spot for the musketry age. For sure. Let me check. Some things stick with you. Did you include the Napoleon? Yeah, you did include Napoleonics. What about the War of 1812? The American Wars. Great Northern War. Boy, you're stretching back now. See, that's what I've come to the conclusion of. I've toyed around with the AWI, all these different periods, Napoleonics, but there's one era of the musket age that you just mentioned that has always had my attention. It's always been in the back of my mind, and I never explored it on purpose because I was doing other things, which I enjoy doing. But that one, I've purposely kept away from until recently, and that's the wars in Ireland, Scotland, and Scandinavia during the early 1700s and late 1600s. Not the Marlburian War, before that. So we're talking Great Northern War. We're talking the Williamite Wars in England. That stuff just got me. And what got me, what pulled me over was this one rule book called Beneath the Lily Banners. I absolutely fell in love again with the period, the miniatures, the look, the feel, the rules, and it's like, I got to do this. This is what I've been putting off for so long. And the good thing is I don't know a whole lot about the era, so it's like a new experience. It's like being a kid again, So I bought some figures, bought some books, uniform books, rule books, and it's one of my projects that's sitting there. I'm collecting and prepping for. And it's my inspiration to do cloth flags in 28 mil. So that's one of my projects too. Not the Marlburian Wars, not the War of the Spanish Succession, not that one so much, but that era, and the naval side of it too. Galleons and all that. I love that era. I've always loved that era. We're talking like the 1670s and 80s and 90s. I mean, not many people wargame that, although it's getting more popular, but that's my thing. Yeah, Beneath the Lily Banners. There's a miniatures game called Beneath the Lily Banners. It's a title for a rule book. I know it's a board game too. GMT. But it's also a miniatures game. And I saw that book, and the guy that does it is fantastic. It's his era. It's what he does. And he puts so much passion into the period with his collections and what he does. It reflects in the books and pictures he posts. And it's my kind of thing. I always wanted to do that. Me too. Age of Sail, 1600s through Napoleonics. Not so much Napoleonics for me, but it's doable. I've played some Napoleonic naval games. But I really love that age of piracy, the late 1600, early 1700, that era, whatever we want to call it. The musket and bayonet era, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. And Charles XII and his exploits. I learned about his stuff going on, like he invaded Russia with the Swedish army at one point. We had another Russian invasion. It failed miserably. Battles with the Turks. I mean, come on. So I'm learning all this new stuff, and it's got me excited. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Need 2 more of these guys. 2 more, 2 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I need 2 more. I jumped head first in the Flying Colors series. I do need to get some pirate games. Yeah, they got a volume coming out that's going to cover that era, right? I think you were telling me about it. We were looking at it online here. Yeah, that's a must. It's a great series. And I remember every time I sit down to play it, I'm thinking, boy, if only they covered the Age of Piracy era. You know what I mean. Because there was stuff going on there, the Great Northern War. There's some stuff going on. Definitely my thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You said the basing is 40 mil, right? Was it 20 by 20? Thunder in the Baltic. That's the name of it. And it's made the cut. Well, that's good. What base is these? These are 30 millimeters square. 30 millimeters square. If you're asking about these. 10 guys, 2 ranks. And these are the Jaeger. Don't they look good? Dun, 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 dun. Oh God, I gotta feed the cat again. The bases you are working with right now, that is. Yeah. 30 millimeters square. I think, yeah. And incidentally, this is what I used to base my figures on before ESR adapted this as their default painting or default basing system. I was using 3 centimeter square bases for my infantry. The difference between my basing and his basing is that I put them in 2 or 3 ranks. Well, I put them in 3 ranks, and the 3rd rank had some missing guys in it, so it was a little bit of a staggered, realistic-looking deployment. In the 3 ranks. Why go with 1 or 2 ranks? Do the real thing. You can do it in 10 mil. Looked way more realistic. So when I was doing my battalions with 6 or so bases or something, that's a lot of miniatures in a battalion, but they're all in like 3 ranks. It looks right. So I always found 3 centimeters perfect. And my cavalry, I'd typically put 3, I don't think it was 4. I think I put 3 figures, single rank on each base. And the artillery, 1 cannon with 4 crew or whatever on 1 base. And they were all based like this, 3 centimeters. And it worked for me. That's how I did it. And that's pretty much what David does with his ESRs, the default basing for 10 mil. Same thing. I'm telling you, he took my ideas. I was his inspiration. I'm telling you. He may argue that. He may. I don't know. Yeah. You saw. I'm not going to show the pictures. You saw the stuff, though, right? You saw my stuff all deployed. One, two. And here's the command. This guy's a grenadier. He goes to the far right. Then we're going to have these guys. Then we're going to have these guys on the left. So let me do 1 base here because I could finish this. Can I see an artillery piece and crew? One of those? Yeah. Let me put these guys on the base and I'll show you a picture of some artillery. All painted up and based and good to go. How about that? Because I don't have any at the moment. I have to go into my thingy-majiggy. Yeah, 3 centimeters, perfect. So I suppose you would want to do that too for a realistic looking deployment. Cornet player. Do-do-do. Double check. Two more guys here. Let me get that on. One more. There you go. I think that's about right. So, there it is. Gotta let that dry. That's a full Jaeger base. Make sure that's on there good. That looks good. Video on the French a few months ago. I'll go back and look at that. I think there were artillery in that grouping. Oh, definitely was. I'd go with 3 centimeters square. It's perfect. It's just enough figures. It's not good. Do you want the picture? Let me find a picture. Let's see. Polyonics? See if I got something from my own collection. My own stuff. I have to do a screen display. Let's do that. display capture. Let me get this off the screen. Snoop. I got so many things on here. So if you look at the screen on the far right, that's what I see when during the chat. That's what I see. I'm not looking at YouTube. I'm looking at this. I don't see everything because it's only so many messages and then it just forgets what was done. So if I scroll up, it's not. Let's see how far it goes back. Goes back to 442, mini warm-up. Palmer might beat me to it, he says. So it doesn't show me everything. It goes away. Pretty cool. Volley and bayonet, British Grenadier, General d'Armée, General of the Brigade. Alright, let's see. Where do I have this? Alright, here's my folder of my stuff. Let's look at this. Let me see. There's a lot of battle scenes here, which are really good, and they're from that video as well. So let's scroll the Rooney. This one's got some cannon. Let's make this full screen. Well, there you go. Boom, done. Look at that. That's 4 crew. And your typical 8 to 12 pound gun. They'll fit nice and snug on there. These are Magister Militum, which match up pretty well with the ones I'm working with now. And those are 3 centimeter square bases. But the exact... No, they're not the exact. Actually, this isn't based for General d'Armée. This is... Or ESR, I mean. The basing might be different on these. Let me scroll through this. Because these are battalions, these whole rows of infantry. Got the old guard in the middle. Yeah, so those are actual full battalions. The cannons might be on different sized bases. Let me find the right ones. Yeah, those bases look a little different. Now these are mine. Let me find a good picture. Ignore that. These are mine. No cannon. There's some cannon here. Let me get this out of the way. Now, these are definitely 3 centimeters square. Now, behind it is a second 3 centimeter square base that I put little extra models on. Because why not? So I actually had extra crew for the cannon shown. Instead of putting them all on one base, I had them on a separate base in the back. Want a nice clear picture. The cannon's always off to the side. Hold on, give me a chance here. You know I love to show off the pictures. These are great. Damn it. Are these pictures okay, or? It looks like I was putting 3 guys on a base and then using a second base to go behind it. Yeah, I was playing General d'Armée. I played some General de Brigade in there too, and some Blucher. Let me show something else, something better, something more specific that are based the proper way. Because those pictures are just, you know, action pictures. They might not give you what we want to see. Let me get that off the screen. Since I'm on display capture, let me see here. Because I know what you want to see. There's a 3 centimeter square base with 4 guys on it, which is what I'm doing now. That's what I want to show you. That'll give you an idea of what you're talking about. I have to go to commissions. Let's go to commissions. Let's see, there's got to be one in here. Here's one. This might do the trick. I think, maybe. We'll see. Let's share it. So, this one right here. These are 3 centimeter square. And it's 4 guys. There's the cannon. Oh, that's a small cannon. Looks pretty good. I think I got some more here. There's the limbers in the background. These, with 6 horses, this base here is actually 3 centimeters wide by 80? Is it 80? 80 or 60? I say it's probably 80. Let me look here. This here is 30, 60, 70. Oh, 90 would be 90. I have to look that up. If you want the measurements, I could do it right now. I'll grab a base. But yeah, that's the way I base them. Same frontage, it's just the depth that's different. It's either 60 or 90 millimeters deep, and it's perfect. It's perfect. As you can see, same depth as limbers and ammo wagons, same depth. Yeah. I guess that's it. Just a good look at the limber. I say it's 90. I don't know, I'd have to look. Could be 80. I'll measure it. If you could measure, yeah, I'll measure them. I don't have one here. Let me go up and grab one. They should already be based. So with the wagons, I only have 4 horses because it takes up more space, and that's okay, that's acceptable. I'll grab a limber and measure it. But here's a 3 centimeter base. And there's the cannon. So you got plenty of room on there. These are for the Russians that I'm working on now, by the way. So yeah, there's going to be 4 guys on there. They kind of look like what I showed you. It's a perfect number. Oh, it's definitely 90. You can see it right there. So you can see it right there. 30, 60, 90. That's one way to measure it. So it'd be 30 by 90. Write that down. 30 by 90 gives you this size base here. Wagon, 4 horses. Limber, you'd have 6 horses. Cannon, you could put 3 to 4 guys on it. I suggest making a second base to put behind it, where you got 2 or 3 additional crew. Maybe some ammo boxes. Because then it just looks right. That's what I did. Yeah. And that's 3 centimeters square. There you go. And for good measure, there's the actual limber. So if you wanted to actually have the cannon on the back of it being pulled, you'd probably add at least another, well, I'd add another 30. So it'd be like that. But you could probably get away with 20. That would be 30 added to it. Was that 120? Yeah, 120. There you go. Hold on. Round bases. Oh, I think these are 20 and these are 30. I'm gonna look. Yeah, these are 30s. So they're just round. And that on this you want to put like 2 or 3 officers mounted. Perfect. Those are your big time generals. So that's 3 centimeters diameter. Okay. Simple, easy. And these I think are 20. And these are single model bases. That's 20. And that's pretty much all it uses. So 20 centimeters diameter, that's going to 2 centimeters diameter. That's going to be your single model. And then the 30 centimeters, or 3 centimeters, I got to consolidate here. 3 centimeters diameter for 2 or 3 guys. Or more. There's plenty of room on the damn thing. Do a little diorama. Nice little command base. Like for your division and corps. This would be like a brigadier or something. Alright, so that's how it works. An ESR. And it's actually a really good basing system. It's versatile. You could use this basing with General de Brigade, General d'Armée, as well as ESR if you were going to play games with them. That's what you'd do. And they'd look ultra realistic. You know, get those 3 ranks going. Casualties are in the back rank because they fill in. You know, it looks great. I mean, that's what I was all about when I did my 10 mil. I wanted to make it look as realistic as possible. If I'm going to use 10 mil, and I want it to be realistic. That's the advantage of 10 mil. You could do that. They're easy to paint, quick to paint, and a hell of a lot cheaper. Yeah, me too. It's a nice little option. I say so myself. I actually don't need these. Got all the officers based already. All I need is these. I think I threw the bag away. So did you write that down? Take little notes. You're all set. Now, originally, when I first began collecting my stuff, I wasn't using bases like this for my infantry. The cavalry and artillery, I did. But for the infantry, I didn't. I used 20 mil by 30 millimeter. So they were basically 10 millimeters thinner. 30 millimeters wide, 20 millimeters deep. And what I was doing is I was putting only 2 ranks of infantry on there. Why I did that, I'm not sure. It was like a compromise thing. And the more I looked at it, it was like, why didn't I add just an extra 10 millimeters to the back, make it nice and square like the cavalry and the artillery, and add a 3rd rank? So I rebased all my infantry onto these bases, and that's what I settled on. Not sure why I went with the thinner in the beginning, but that's what I did. Realism, that's why. Realism. That is exactly why. Hi, Vince, you want to come in? I'll stay on another hour if you want to come on. We could chat for a little bit. Come on in and say hello. Got Nordic here in the chat. This guy who I haven't seen in so long, I'm telling you, he's fantastic. Gird your loins. Prepare yourself. All right, let's calm down. Let's not get crazy. Go on over there and jump in a channel and I'll drag you in. Just give me a moment here. Vincent Bryan. I couldn't think of his... Vince, it was so long. I couldn't remember your name. I couldn't remember it. I have a terrible memory. Terrible. But I couldn't remember, so I couldn't say it. Oh, I was talking about Vince. This was either Monday or Saturday. But, yeah, it totally slipped my mind. That's why I was pretty shocked when I saw you in here today. Like, there he is. Reminded me of his freaking name. Yep, loco. That's the way it is. All right, let me get over there. There he is, hanging out in the green room. If I can find my mouse, it disappeared on me, but I can drag him in. There he is. There he is. Hey there, Vince. Get the mic sorted.
That should be working right about now.
Excellent, excellent. There he is, my French-Canadian friend.
All right.
Whose English accent is quite stronger than it used to be. That's right.
Much better, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Long
You
time
see,
ago.
funny thing, I had time to practice. When you're driving a truck for 13 hours straight down the 401 highway in Toronto, you're going to lose your mind if you don't do something. So I used to practice my English accent there, alone in the truck, just having conversations with myself. That was my glorious moment.
There you go. There you go. Fantastic. So let me understand. I know I keep harping on this. Oh, it's been forever. How old were you when we were playing those games online, like with Sisters of Battle?
Oh,
Were you like 19?
well, 19, 20 years old, actually.
You
Yeah,
gotta be kidding.
pretty
I
much.
can't believe it. I can't believe it. God, how old am I? Nice. I don't even want to think about it. That's crazy, man.
I'll try to adjust my mic.
Yeah, he's got the French accent.
The whole shebang.
I shall ask the question of what historical period is your favorite, if you are indeed into historical game. Oh, he's historical.
Oh, and my dog is eating the carpet. Tester.
That's okay. That's okay. Little carpet's not bad.
Un tapis en rubber, c'est pas bon pour toi, Sabadé.
There you go. There you go, Nordic. Breaking out the French Canadian and the dog. Yeah, fantastic. He did ask you a question. He asked you, Vincent, I shall ask the question of what historical period is your favorite, if you are indeed into historical gaming.
Oh, that's a good one, actually, because obviously I'm a lot into World War II, but me and my friend, we really love the Franco-Prussian War, and actually I'm gonna get that out. Franco-Prussian War, World War One, and we're thinking about getting to Napoleonics and ancients. Oh God, there's too many periods, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that too earlier. Too much. Yes, what theater or time of World War II?
We're big Eastern Front guys,
Eastern Front.
and right now, yeah, I'm getting out the early war stuff for Barbarossa, and I've painted SS too, so we're playing Bagration,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to explore them in war. We feel as though 1943 is pretty much the forgotten year of World War II, if I'm not mistaken. And even I'm not too sure what kind of engagement happened except Operation Citadelle.
Okay.
What happened in 1943?
On the Eastern Front?
In general, actually.
Well, you had your Kursk going on, which was humongous. I think 43 was the turning point of the war, actually, starting with Kursk. I don't know how I know that, because the East Front is not my thing. I wrote
Oh no! Oh, yeah,
I wrote essay papers on it in school, if you remember that. So I do remember that detail.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And 43. I think we were in Italy at the time.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
think that was Italy.
They later surrendered in 44.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the one front I never explored. We even got Pacific stuff I gotta build.
Yeah,
And
that's something
I
I don't know
wanna,
much about either. Pacific Theater, I'm a little bit really rusty on that. That's not my forte.
yeah, I get you. I started to explore the British East Indies forces, and I'm gonna build like a sick platoon. You know, the Indians.
Mm-hmm. The Sikhs.
Yeah, pretty cool history about them.
End of
How
the
about you,
North
Nordic? What
African
period do you play?
campaign. July 43 was the start of the Italian campaign. He's mostly a board gamer, I'll tell you that right now, but he does love to paint miniatures. So he paints miniatures. He doesn't really war game with them, but he's big into board gaming. He knows all about World War II and Napoleonics, and especially the horse and musket period.
Oh, that's really awesome.
I kind of answered his question for him. Sorry, Nordic. Feel free to reiterate.
Well, it's okay because I can't see the chat right now. So, do you hear me good?
Yeah, you're fine. I can hear you pretty good. How about you guys in the chat? Hear him okay, Nordic? Just let me know. Turn him up.
I gotta push the sensibility pretty high because you got my my stepdaughter behind that's playing that Fortnite game, so
Oh boy.
she's
Oh,
pretty
boy.
loud.
I bet.
Oh yeah.
Insta family. It's what you wanted. There you go.
There he goes.
You remember Matt Schreiber?
Can't complain. Matt Schreiber, vaguely, honestly, only vaguely.
I don't think you were around as much at that stage, but he comes into the chats too. I haven't seen him in a while, and he just came back around. He gave up painting miniatures because of an injury, but now he's getting back into it. So that's interesting.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, it's crazy because so much has happened for everybody because it's been so long. I haven't talked to a lot of folks in quite a while, but yeah, it's great that he's back.
Yeah, follow the Tom a lot on his Facebook there. We have good giggles back and forth with the all Canadian thing, and I haven't heard about Ian for a long time.
Yeah. Ian, not to bring a downer to the chat, not that it really is a downer. I don't know what it is, but for those who don't know, Ian had a heart attack.
Oh, that's right. I saw that on Facebook. God.
Couple months ago. And he joined us in the chat not long after that. He was still in the hospital at the time. He must have been in there for a month. But he was joining us in the chat, texting in the YouTube. And I think he was on his last few days of being there, and they were going to run a few more tests, and then he was going home. And he was having all kinds of issues with his liver and his kidneys, and I won't go into details here, but it was pretty grim. And yeah, I'm here keeping him going, keeping the faith and all that kind of thing. And he sounded like he was okay, but I haven't talked to him with voice chat in a long time. So he said that like for a few days he'll be in the hospital. We got some more tests, and then they're going to let him go home, and he's going to be back at his old place and get it all settled. That was the last I heard of him. I haven't talked to him in, it's got to be maybe 5-6 weeks. Nothing. And I talked to him on Facebook, and I told him keep in touch and all this, and he said, I will. And he hasn't even been on Facebook at all, as far as I know, for the last 6 weeks. So if anybody out there knows anything about Ian and his situation currently, please let me know. I've talked to a bunch of folks about this, and nobody seems to know. And to be honest, I'm really concerned, hugely concerned. That's an update on Ian. So yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, I really hope he's doing okay. I mean, sometimes I've got an uncle who's not doing too well, but he's resting. But he's not on social media. He's taking a break from that, and it's doing good for his mental being. So maybe it's just that. Hopefully.
Maybe. I'm going to talk to a few folks that you know, like Neil and some other folks that I know that know him that are over in the UK, and see if I can get them to get in touch with him or find out something. Matt Schreiber's going over there on vacation. I mean,
Oh yeah, he is.
so I'm going to even ask him. I said, when you go over there, if I haven't found anything by then, maybe you can look into it. Your wife's family, they live there. I don't know, but do you remember? I don't want to be a real downer. I'm not trying. But do you remember Paul Backus?
Yeah, the Paul Backus, the guy who founded Backus Miniatures. Is that it?
No, not him. Paul Backus from down in Australia. He used to hang out in the chats with us. You definitely know him. You might not remember. Australian guy.
From Australia.
He was a cop.
My God.
He passed away. I think it was last year or the year before. He passed away of cancer.
Oh, wow. Shit,
Yeah.
man.
You'd remember him
That's
if you heard his
so
voice.
sad.
It is. It's crazy what's been happening. Everybody's disappearing.
Wow.
Backus was
So
sudden.
yeah, a lot of stuff can happen in 60 years, eh?
Yeah, a lot. But anyway, that's the situation.
My
with
dog
Ian.
spotted something outside.
Uh-oh, everybody look out. Cover your ears.
It's okay, buddy. Having a Labrador sometimes can be a bit of work, eh? Hey, buddy.
Nordic says.
So folks, we take good care of our buddies here in this wargaming community.
Yeah, we do. It's pretty tight. I'm like one of the last ones remaining from the old days that we did this. Honestly, the community that spawned on YouTube back in 2012 and 2013 with Dreadlin and British Legion, myself, Ian, Neil, all these folks, there was a huge community back then, and we all got together,
definitely.
and it just bloomed from there. It was great. That's how the Tabletop Commanders came about. And all of a sudden, I'd say the past maybe 7 years, it's just slowly going quiet. Everybody's disappearing. Even Dredd pointed that out the other day to me. It's just, all the old crew, they're all gone. They're not interested anymore, or dying, seriously. It's not the same as it was. But I've been here. I've been keeping things alive. Some of the old crew comes back in once in a while, like Neil, Ian. But for the most part, it's a different vibe. There's a lot of new folks coming into it, like Nordic. A lot of role players have come over, some board gamers, and a few miniature war gamers. But for whatever reason, not as many. I don't know why. Yeah.
I think things are in cycles.
Yeah, so do I, actually.
It's they'll be back soon enough. After just like me in 6 years, but I'm back, and
yeah.
Actually, right now I'm taking out my my French from Pendraken.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it? Pendraken?
Yep.
Yep. Lovely figures. I really love Pendraken as a manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
I even got a Polish and Russian army intel from World War II. Great stuff.
Nice. Nice.
But you talked about basing earlier. You said you base your stuff in 3 ranks now.
I used to.
My dog is eating.
I used
Okay.
to. I don't. In 10 mil, I was basing my Napoleonics in 3 ranks. Yeah.
So I'm looking at my French, and I base them 2 ranks and 5 wide. What the? These like a 30 by 60 mil bases. Pretty wide.
Yeah,
I
so,
think I based those like that. Play 1871
mhm.
rule set. If I could get my camera working, I could show you.
Yeah, damn thing. God, you got to get a new camera again. A new face cam. Oh, God.
They
Hilarious.
probably sell nowadays cameras you can connect to your phone, and I could like tape it to my LED lamp and have a nice view of my table. Is that how you do it?
How? Say that again?
Do you get your cam? Do you have like a wireless camera or something? Because you've got like an overhead view, right?
Oh, that's connected to my laptop. This one right here. This camera here that shows what I'm painting. That's a whole separate camera. My laptop camera, I'm using a laptop. My laptop camera is what's got my faces on right now. So I'm using,
So that's how.
yeah, I'm using a laptop. We got Byron in the chat. I don't know if you remember Byron. I don't think he goes back.
Honestly, I remember my voices. My memory is really bad, actually.
Let's see what Byron has to say. What did he say here? Fear not and dread not. Okay, we could do that. Listening to you over the TV whilst we cook dinner. It was him and his girlfriend, Rosemary. Been together over a year.
Rosemary.
Yeah. She's awesome. She's in the community too. She's been in the chat. She's great.
Oh, she is nice.
Yep. Do a little straightening up of the miniatures. My ADHD is a problem, says Byron. Rosemary is making me spaghetti. All right, some pasta tonight with red sauce.
That's the lucky man.
Oh. Looks like Byron or Nordic's going to make some spaghetti as well. Spaghetti all around.
Yeah, even ate that yesterday.
Yeah, so did I. I just had it yesterday and the day before. Holy smokes. It was good. Hey, Byron, make sure you put a little cinnamon in the sauce. I'm telling you, put a little cinnamon in it. It's magic.
My spouse does that actually, and it's the best thing. She makes the best sauce I ever tasted in my life. She even beats my mother's sauce, and nobody tell that to my mother because she's gonna kill me. But
Yep.
for real, cinnamon and spaghetti sauce, perfect. It kind of cuts the acidity of the sauce and
Yeah,
makes everything blend together better.
could be. I was just reminded the other day that Matt Schreiber, he's a chef. He's a cook. He knows all the tricks of the trade, as it were, which I totally forgot about when I had first met him. And I was just talking to him like, a few months now. He come back into the hobby again. And he was telling me about cinnamon. So I popped it in my spaghetti sauce and I immediately recognized it. It's something my mom used to do with chili. He recommended it in chili or any red sauce.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, chili. I could see it in chili for sure. But yeah, it does the trick. Nope, there's a Dora Moon. Go ahead.
What we do too in Canada is we put maple syrup in our spaghetti sauce. A dash of maple syrup. Well, no,
Huh.
that's what cuts the acidity actually. Yeah.
Don't put too much cinnamon in. Less than a teaspoon. Not even. You put in too much, I found out the first time I did it, I think I put a little too much. I put a few shakes in it, right? Just a little bit, not too much. But I felt like I put too much in. And when I tasted it, like shortly after, it was a little too strong. But I found out something. If you let it cook, and I usually cook it for at least an hour plus, it totally changes. It's beautiful. And it was the best version of spaghetti I think I've ever had. So test it out with a little bit at first, a few shakers. Definitely less than a teaspoon. And then explore. Maybe add a little bit more on top of it to get it right where you want it. Yeah, that's what I recommend.
Folks, we've got miniatures, we've got cooking tips, we've got everything.
Oh, I love talking about food and cooking. We all do. Yeah. Welcome aboard, Vincent.
It's the best thing of the day, man. You come home, and I'm a lucky guy, actually, because me and my spouse, we work pretty much equal. Oh. Hi, Chester. What's happening, buddy? Huh? Yeah. Sorry, folks. My dog wants attention whenever I speak to somebody else.
Let me flip your camera because you're sideways. If it lets me.
How many miniatures do you put on a base with 10 mil?
On these bases, 3 centimeters square. For ESR, I put on 10. But you could easily fit on 20. Maybe not 20.
Yeah.
It depends on the figure manufacturer, because some of these 10s are a little bit bigger. The Old Glory, for instance, I could put on 7 figures on a 3 centimeters front. So times that by a number of ranks that you want. 7 times 3, that'd be 21 figures on a base. For 3 centimeters
Yeah, they're like a
wide.
Litra, they're almost 12 mil.
The Old Glory are tiny. They're considered 10.
Oh, they're tiny. Okay.
Yeah, they're a little bit smaller for 10 mil. The Magister Militum and the War Games company, their figures are a little bit bigger. You can, on a 3 centimeters front, you can fit 5 guys. Tops.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's almost like 15.
Yeah,
Almost.
Almost.
Well, 15 mil has a lot of skill creep going on. But often figures now are pretty much 18 mil. The thing with 10 mil too is, at first when you don't know about it, it's confusing because you got 10 mil, you got 12 mil, and I figured out basically it's all 144, 160, and apparently the Vitrix 12 mils are compatible with Pendrake and 10 mil.
Huh. Why can't I turn this? There we go.
Yeah, my camera won't work here.
You're okay. I got you fixed.
Yes.
I turned you vertical or horizontal. I flipped you so we can see you. Oh, he moved it and
Yes,
he messed it up. Now it's normal. But I gotta flip you again.
I guess that's my front cam.
There we go. Yeah, you're in portrait mode.
What is happening?
Everybody loves your beard, by the way. I knew they would.
I've been growing it myself.
There you go.
Do you see my my Franco Prussians here?
Ah. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna rebase those. Feels wrong. Those are Chasseur, Volt Voltigeur,
Okay.
and I don't know. I figure they feel a bit too spread out.
Too spread out? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. For the time period, I'm not sure. I don't know that much about the Franco-Prussian War. I've seen where they're fighting and stuff, and I don't know if they did spread out a little. They'd probably be a little closer together. I don't know. What do you think, Vince?
I think that's the reason why I went with 60mm wide bases, because from what I read, I believe that like a German company that advanced battalion had a wider frontage as they had in the Napoleonic era.
Yeah. Huh.
I guess it's the period where you started to have a small switch, a small shift in infantry tactics, just very slight change because of the weapons, of course. Like the chassepot, the French rifle was really fucking good for the time, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely deadly weapon. I believe the Prussians actually started to crouch when they fought and take cover. I'm not sure. I really hope someone can correct me on that. But... Oh yeah, I've got the mitrailleurs. The last game I played with those, couldn't do anything with the mitrailleurs because of the range. In that period, the Prussian artillery is all the rage.
Yeah.
The Krupp guns are really strong. They have very modern weaponry
What game
for
have
the
you?
artillery gun.
What rules have you used to play?
Black powder.
Okay.
Yeah. And I bought the 1871 rules. I
Okay.
forgot who wrote those, but didn't vibe with me. But the booklet itself is really awesome for all the information you can get. Funny thing, actually, I ordered that booklet from the US. It was like $40 US, and with the exchange and all the import fees, cost me $110.
Wow.
Yep,
Was it
I
worth
was
it?
amazed.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, awesome book. I want to find who wrote it, but seriously, they made an amazing job. It's like 100 pages, and it's jam-packed with information about the formations, and the rules themselves are good. It's just not my vibe.
Yeah, that happens. Find what you like. Nothing wrong with that, Vince. You know.
And, my dog's going crazy because I got friends, eh?
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Yeah, right?
He's so cute, though. A year-old Labrador. You have any pets, Fritz?
Nah, I'm here all by myself. Of course I have pets. What, are you kidding me? They're all over the place. I still got my 2 cats, Chloe and Walter. You must remember them. Maybe you don't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Walter de
I didn't
Katze.
remember Chloe or her name, but Walter.
Yeah, and I have a 3rd cat now. His name is Maximus. He's the guardian of the studio game room that I'm working on next door. And then I have Cooper, a small little dog. I've had him forever, me and Jesse. He's Jesse's dog, actually, but he grew up and lived here, and I've been doggy watching him for a year now. So he's kind of like under my care at the moment as well. He's a little guy. He's a little, he's a miniature collie / what's that really smart, nasty, loud dog? They're little dogs. What are they called? They're really smart.
You talking about
What are they? I can't remember the name of them. Everybody knows them. I can't think of it, but he's a mix of those two, so he's a mutt. But yeah, he's fun as can be.
wow, and got it.
And he's cute. All the ladies love him. Rosemary would
Oh,
fall.
they do?
Rosemary would fall in love immediately if she saw his mug because he's got a little underbite,
Oh,
which is kind of funny. So he gets all the ladies, that's for sure. Yeah, that's what I got.
and you see, wargamers give the best names for pets. Come on, Maximus, Walter, Chloe. My well, I used to have a cat, Dimitri. Dimitri passed away a year
Aw.
ago on the eve of his third birthday.
Yeah.
The orange cat, big fat potato, sweetest cat ever. He couldn't survive a minute outside, but sweetest cat ever.
Huh.
And now we've got 2 cats, Yuri and Sasha.
Yeah, nice. Nice, good.
I've got a Slavic naming convention going on with my cats.
You do?
The next one's probably going to be named Anton or Valeri, something like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm picking up my Ukrainian again. I don't know if you remember back in the day, you used to learn a bit of Russian and Ukrainian.
I remember. You were working on it. Yeah, you were big into the
Я погано
Russian thing.
українською.
Yep, there it is, folks.
Yeah, I met this Ukrainian teacher that was teaching Russian. She was called Anna. Beautiful woman.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe that she was Ukrainian that spoke Russian, and while I was learning Russian with her, I actually got really interested in Ukraine, culture and the language, and I decided back then to pick up Ukrainian instead. And now she's I haven't gotten any news from her in a month. She's fleeing the war, of course. But she was okay last time I heard.
Huh,
And
okay.
I forgot what I was gonna say with that. Oh. Huh. Oh well.
Yuri is a good name, says Rosemary.
Oh, and we say it a lot because he's a mischievous little cat. He's so cute, but he's got a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's crossed with a Bengal cat, actually. So.
When I first got Walter, we were up in Massachusetts, and we went to, of all places, I think it was a PetSmart. And
Oh, for real?
they took in rescue animals and helped adopt them up there in PetSmart. So we were up there looking around. We were going to adopt a cat. What a great fun thing that would be. So my friend of mine, she was interested in this one cat. It was a kitten, kind of like what Chloe looks like, a little gray tiger type. She was in there, but somebody else was eyeing her up. So they told us, well, come back in a couple days and we'll see if she's still here, you can adopt her. And we looked at all the other cats and stuff like that. I didn't even notice Walter. And we did our thing. And we come back a couple days and the cat was gone. Somebody had adopted the cat. So she left it to me to pick the cat. So I was looking at the cats. And way down at the end was this one cat named Walter. And it said right on his little window, it said, "My name is Walter." Or Walter, I don't remember. But I remember looking at that, thinking to myself, who the hell names their cat Walter? What an odd name to give a cat. And it just intrigued me. It intrigued me. Usually it's something like Felix or Morris or something. Not Walter or Fred or Scott. You don't name your cats like humans normally. So I looked at him and said, yeah, let's look at him. Let's take him in the back and see what he's like. And they'd take him out of the cage and we can introduce. But he was this arrogant sitting cat. He was big and he was just sitting there staring at me with his tail whipping left and right. Like cats do to show their dominance. Like, how dare you look at me? So, and sure enough, we go in the back and they let him out of the cage and he instantly lunges like an ape against the back of the cages of the other cats. Like he's aggressive. And they told me he's very alpha. He's very dominating type of cat. Maybe that's why he got, ended up where he was, as a rescue. But I said, you know what? That's fine. I'm alpha too. We're going to have some problems, but we'll straighten it out, I'm sure. So we ended up adopting him, and it was all because his name was Walter. I was so intrigued. I kept the name, and yeah, so he's Walter the Katze. Walter the cat.
Chloe's the gray one, and Walter. I don't remember what he looks like. I know you got pictures of those on your Facebook. You used to, anyways.
I could show them now. I'm always showing pictures. People yell at me, not pictures again. Not, oh, here he goes again. He'll be here all night showing pictures of his cats and his painted miniatures and his saxophone. Yeah, I'll show some pictures for you. You can see my screen.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that once. 3-4 years ago, if you hold the account, I saw you with a saxophone. Do you still play that thing?
Oh, yeah. I haven't played it in years, actually. But, yeah, I'm thinking of this year I'm going to play it again. Start playing again. Because I love it.
Oh, sweet! I just found my Austro-Hungarian artillery. That's great. I'm still playing guitar. The
Yeah,
instruments, you got to keep it up, even though if you don't practice every day or every week, actually, because life happens.
yeah, that's
It's
right.
good to keep that up. It keeps the dementia away, as they say.
Yeah, that's right. You were playing the guitar for us live in the chat at one stage.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's clearly a 19-year-old me.
Hmm. We have a
We
we have a new guitar
yes,
player. We have a new guitar player here in the community. Her name is Kat. She's a youngster, but she comes on now and then, and she just got a guitar. She's been playing guitar for years, and we haven't heard her play yet, but she's the new guitar player of the community. She's out there
it's
somewhere.
awesome. Wow.
All right, let me show you some pictures of all my pets except Chloe, because for whatever reason, I don't have a picture of her in here. I'll have to change that, but I'll show you everything else, including Cooper with his beautiful underbite. Prepare yourself, Rosemary. Get ready. I'm telling you, he's a heartbreaker. Yeah, you'll remember these pictures. Let me shrink your picture down. You're sideways again, Vince. What's going on? You're actually...
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone because are you sharing something right now?
I've got your screen flipped because it keeps flipping on you. So let me flip it back to the original, and we'll just go with that. All right, this is what it normally looks like. You're sideways, but we'll leave it that way. Vince is going to be sideways for a minute here, folks. Hang in there.
I just found my 10 mil figures based individually on those 8-inch washers.
Yeah?
God, young me had crazy ideas.
Wow.
I'm not doing that to 100 figures.
That is a crazy idea. What's the matter with you?
I don't know what was the matter with me. But I'm sure it's not Isel gonna do that again.
You've been away too long. Simple as that.
That's it. And going to the U.S. actually made me realize stuff.
Yeah.
Not to be. I went down to New York State and Wisconsin.
Did you?
Great state too. Yeah.
Huh. Did you ever pass
Really nice
through
place.
Pennsylvania?
No, and I never had the opportunity because our company got our U.S. contracts taken away by a bigger company in Quebec. Now I'm just doing local stuff, local gigs.
Truck driving man. All right, let's share some pictures here.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to see those cats.
All right. So, here's Cooper. He's a little puppy at this stage. Look how cute he is. Look at that.
Food.
He was so small. He used to sleep in Jesse's slipper when we got him. That's Walter. That's up in Massachusetts, in fact. So he was, I don't know how old he was there. They told us he was 3 years old when we got him, and this is what, 2011? That's him there. There's Cooper on Jesse's lap. Jesse's my nephew. You'll meet him. He comes into the chats. There's Walter.
Can't see nothing.
Oh, you can't see? Tell me when you can see.
I've got to figure out Discord on my phone.
I'll wait.
See, that's why I wanted to buy a laptop. But I got a desktop instead. I've got an idea. I'm gonna go on YouTube and turn off the volume on YouTube.
Okay.
And then I'll see what you're. Yeah.
You got it?
Is Valta Zekatsa.
Yep, that's him. That's up in Massachusetts. There he is. Look at that mug. Look at the arrogance in this cat. Said, how dare you? Yeah, he was younger then.
Sitting there all majestic.
Yep. There he He's in his little playhouse. Yeah, this is Massachusetts. I forgot about
Oh,
these
look
pictures.
at that face.
Yeah. Good times. Oh, he's so much bigger than this now. I tell you, he weighs 20 pounds.
20 pounds.
Yeah, I tell you. He feels like it when he lays on my chest
Wow.
in the morning, just like a cinder block.
Yeah, Yuri, our male cat, too. When it's 4 in the morning, he wants to know if you're still alive because cats, and he walks on your face. And my spouse hates it, but I love it. He's so heavy though. The ground pressure on his little paw is insane, absolutely insane. Oh, look at that.
Well, I forgot about these pictures.
Oh, so cute.
This is all Massachusetts. This is a long time ago. Look how young he looked. God. There's some newer pictures.
How old is he now?
I don't even want to think about it. I don't.
You said 2011, eh?
Well, they told me.
old. Oh,
they
wow,
told
okay.
me. They told me he was 3 years old, and we got him in 2010. So if you do the math, you know, he's up there in the double digits for sure. He's wearing his cardigan. Gotta wear a cardigan. There's his pet monkey. God, how many pictures of him is there?
Never enough. There's never enough pictures of our pets, man. I'll tell you that.
That's a cute picture. He's got his cardigan sweater on.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, we're looking at cat
Look
pictures.
at that.
He was trying to pull the sweater off in that picture. Get me out of here. I can't take it no more. God, he had a beautiful bed. That's the cat's bed, not mine. I slept on the floor.
Oh, box. Always the boxes. With my first cat, I got him a new toy once. Well, a cat tree. He didn't want the tree. He just went in the box.
This look right now, this is exactly how he was looking at me when we got him. This is that look. He's completely alpha, and he would look at me and his tail would whip and he'd lunge at my face. Totally alpha.
Wow. I rarely seen a cat that's this alpha.
Oh, he loves the women. He never bothered the women, but if it's a dude, nope, he'd give you that look and say, like, how dare you enter my domain? This is down in Pennsylvania, right after I moved back. Yeah, that's me.
What were you doing in Massachusetts? Massachusetts. My God.
Massachusetts. I was working. Me and the lady at the time
The
were
lawn
working.
company, eh?
In Massachusetts, I worked for a couple big landscape companies, national landscape companies. One was Trillium Tree. I was a foreman, and she was a biochemist. She worked for a new startup up there, and yeah, that's what I was doing. Different life for me, I'll tell you.
Do you miss it sometimes?
A little bit. So, this picture is Cooper. Now, if you look closely, he's got casts on both of his front legs because he had broke both of his legs. And I still cringe thinking
Poor
about it.
buddy.
He was just a puppy, and they were living not far from here in an apartment. Jesse's wife had just got home, and Cooper got all excited. Oh, mommy's home, and wanted to get up in her arms and jumped on her. She picked him up, and he was so happy to see her, he accidentally scratched her face and neck with his feet, and she was shocked by it and in pain. So she dropped him, released him to the, and he fell to the floor. And guess what happened? He snapped both of his front legs. And I guess he was screaming in pain. They took him to the hospital emergency for vets. And yeah, he ended up with 2 broken arms, and he was like that for months. And these pictures are just...
Poor guy.
Yeah, it's so sad. I can't even bear thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm blocking. All intrusive thoughts are blocked because that's one of my fears with Chester. He gets so excited sometimes that I know something might happen, so I've got to watch for him because it's always that when strangers come by and just Chester's 1 year old and he loses his mind and starts spinning around and running everywhere, and you're gonna bang your head into something and bleed or something.
God, he was so small there. This is pretty much what he looks like right now. You can see his little underbite. Look at that. Rosemary. Come on, Rosemary. You can't take it anymore.
He's
Look at him.
Jack Russell, is that it?
Yeah,
what
that's
you were thinking about earlier?
That's it. Jack Russell. He's a mix of a Jack Russell and a miniature collie.
He's adorable.
Yeah. See his little underbite?
I didn't even notice earlier.
Yeah, it's crazy. There he is. He's so cute. So much character and personality. And this is Maximus, the new studio cat. Another rescue. He's a big ginger. I never thought we'd be sitting here looking at pet pictures. Oh, so yeah, that's what I got. That's every pet I have except Chloe. I got pictures of her. I just don't have them in here for some reason. Now I got to read the chat. I used to have a little bow tie for a bow tie and a hat for Walter. We bought a little bow tie and hat for him. It was so awesome. She was always buying things like that for him, just making him look goofy. I mean, come on. But yeah. Look like the penguin. Yeah, the underbite is something. Gives him that little extra oomph.
Are those pretty active dogs, or you can get away with playing him with him half an hour and he'll be tired enough?
In Cooper's case, because he's a mutt, it's not so bad. You know, he's like right now, he's sleeping under the desk. He's quiet. He knows I'm on my chat. He's okay. He just likes attention. But it's not like a Jack Russell. Jack Russells are insanely active. Bouncing around, barking all the time. If they see you, they'll just sit there and yip and yap and bounce off the ground all day long. They're a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But really smart dogs.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, definitely. That's why when you said that, I was like, yep, that's got to be Jack Russell.
I told you, Rosemary. I told you. Better watch out, Byron. You got competition here. So there you go.
Trying to figure out how I'm gonna.
That's the answer to your question, Vince. Do I have any pets? 1 hour later.
And you didn't disappoint.
Cinnamon, the spaghetti is amazing, says Byron. You're welcome, man. I just found that out myself. It's just awesome. Now I want spaghetti again. Nordic, hit the kitchen. Let's have some red sauce spaghetti tonight. Nordic only lives a few hours away. Right, Nordic?
Oh, that's right. In Pennsylvania. When I say it sounds like Pennsylvania, how do you say it?
Huh? Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Just say Penn State.
Penn State there. There it goes.
It's like pencil. Say pencil. Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. There.
Yeah, like a
Got
pencil. That's all you have to remember. Pennsylvania. Like Transylvania. You know, it's just the Vania part that's weird, but that's added. Something
Because
like
I've
an
been
hour and a half.
practicing my Ukrainian today, so my brain's all mixed up.
You know, it's been so long. I was in school when you came around in the chats. I was still in school. I used to talk about
That's right.
all my university classes and stuff. That's how long ago it was.
Wow. I don't even remember what you were studying back then.
English.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Wow.
I went in majoring in business management because I'm good at that and I really enjoy it. But for whatever reason, I switched it to English. Well, I know what reason, but English and literature is my passion too. Just that's what I wanted to do. Everybody was scratching their head when I told them I switched from business management to English. What are you going to do? You went from being a manager in any store in the world, any company in the world, to being a curator of a museum. Why would you do that? Or a librarian. Why would you do that? So, because I love it. I love writing, okay? I love that kind of thing. It's my thing. So, but here's the funny part. Even though I was majoring in business and majoring in English, guess what the majority of my classes were?
Let me guess. I've got no guesses, actually.
Military history topics, World War II, the American War of Independence, Napoleonics. I took every class in Napoleonics that existed. It just filled up all my electives and everything with all these classes in history. And
Wow, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, well, surprise. By the end of it, I had no electives left. So everything had to be focused, hyper-focused on English.
Wow.
All the mandatory stuff, you know, college level algebra and all this nonsense. But yeah, that's what happened to me. But, you know,
How many years is that?
for me,
The university part of it.
it should have taken 4 years. That's the degree, bachelor's in English, 4 years. It took me 6. Horsing around as much as I did.
It's a long time. Honestly, I don't know how you do because to be a truck driver in Quebec is 6 months to get your CDL.
Mhm.
And before I was a truck driver, I was since there was a massive shortage of caregivers, our prime minister made this program where you could be a caregiver in 3 months only, instead of 9 months. So I've been to school total of 9 months in the last 5 years
Mm-hmm.
to do two completely separate jobs. Just to think you've been to university for 6 years, man, that boggles my mind. That's so long.
Well, it should have been less. You could do it in 3. You know, I won't go into the details. Did you ever go to university or college? Or are you just technical? Your
I
CDL
went
and
I went
stuff.
to college a bit.
Did you? Okay.
Yep. Basically, after I kind of vanished away from Tabletop Commanders, that's when I went
I
to
remember.
college, what we call in Quebec Cégep.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's college. I tried a couple of stuff, but nothing would really stick for me. So even this, I started a college degree in specialized education. That's a program that's basically is for being like a social worker and stuff like that. And I dropped out of it about 3 weeks in.
Mm-hmm.
I went instead to study to become a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
which in Quebec is either technical or college degree. And I went for the technical degree, and that's when I became a caregiver because you have to
Wow.
become a caregiver first before you become a nurse.
You went into that? I'll tell you, man, caregivers are
Yep.
special people. The legit ones. They are special people indeed.
Oh man, my colleagues, um, these people are angels sent from the heavens, man.
I bet.
How they do that? I did that for 2 years, okay, and I couldn't stand it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
These people have been doing for 10, 20, 30 years. And even though it's been really hard in the last years and the years before, they had horrible pay, horrible conditions, um, no, no recognition from the people and doing it all along. And colleagues come and go, such as me. I've been in that for 2 years and I couldn't take it anymore, but they're still there,
Hmm.
still doing the job. Amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it takes a special person to really be able to handle that type of job. And
It does.
it's not for everybody. Nor should it be, to be honest with you.
No, absolutely. I fully agree with that. Some of my colleagues were not at the right place.
Mm-hmm.
We're dealing with human beings. It's not a production line. That's the thing. I was. How do you say that in English? I was.
Come on, Vince. Come on.
What's the point? What's the point of contention with my colleagues? Because I used actually to get criticized sometimes because I took too long with the patients, and I told them like, look, I understand we're understaffed, but the thing is, we're down the line, we're gonna get even more work if you think about it, if your patients are not taken care of properly. Because if you don't take the time to take care of all their needs, they're gonna call you back, and you have to gonna go. You're gonna you're gonna have to get back them anyway. So do it right the first time, and it's gonna be quicker. But it was kind of hard because there was a lot of stress by the higher ups to just do the work as fast as you can because we're understaffed and people are not willing to do 16-hour shifts anymore. So there was a lot of cut corners, and I couldn't stand that anymore.
Hmm.
So that's basically why I quit.
No, now you're a truck driver.
I'm gonna go back because, yeah, I've got a truck, me, and my cargo to worry about. That's really nice.
And how long you
I
been
work
doing
in
that?
2 years now,
2
almost.
years? Wow. Man.
To be fair, I've done a lot of places. I've driven tankers, food grade tankers, um, which is night shifts and weekends and long shifts, so up to 18 hours. I drove. Septic tanks. I even drove a truck to empty septic tanks. Well, that was kind of dirty work, but that's a job I really respect. These guys that empty or the septic tanks, they got to spend 12, 14 hours a day in sunlight and carrying those hoses, those heavy ass hoses all day long, lifting those covers that weigh like 100 pounds and pumping the stuff inside, and a really hard job. I did that for 3 months and I've said, no, that's not for me. So in society, there's a lot of people that are really, really important to society, and people don't think about the guy that picks up the trash or takes care of your parents or empties your septic tanks, and they're all really hard jobs, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these jobs are not paid as well as they could be.
No.
No, definitely not. So now I'm doing how to say that? It's called rendering in English, yeah. We're basically picking up leftover meat from meat packing plants, grocery stores, butcher shops, and dead animals from farms.
Mm-hmm.
And we do restaurant grease too. That's the run I like because it's the easiest one basically. And yeah, it's a really good job. It's well paid. I'm doing local work. So of course, it's absolutely disgusting, but you get over that after a while.
Good. You got your own place now?
Yep. I moved in with my spouse, and now we're looking to buy a bigger house.
Oh, of course.
This is actually our shed.
Yeah.
I haven't finished the roof, the ceiling yet, but we painted it, installed a new floor that we made with plywood, and I built this large table countertop desk, call that desk.
Yeah, there you go. Desk. Parlez-vous français?
Just a bit. Un petit peu, je parle un petit peu français.
Okay, let's not get crazy.
Right now I'm working on figuring out how I'm gonna base my World War I stuff.
Well, you got to have a set of rules in mind to begin with. You know, my good friend Ars from Poland, and you'll meet him. He's great. You and him would get along. You remind me of each other for some strange reason. I don't know why, but
oh yeah,
he has a great idea that should be adopted by all gamers, really, especially if you have a club or a regular get-together of people. Instead of conforming to sets of rules, and some of you guys know this already, what you should do is find a basing system for your figures, whatever genre it is, that works for you. Base everything that way, and then adapt the rules to your basing system. That's a great idea because you'll always have figures based the way you like them. And it's kind of like what I do anyway. I've discovered that over time. But it's what ours and his club, and he has a fairly big club over there in Warsaw, that's what they do. They don't conform to whatever is prescribed by a set of rules. They're not tournament players. They play for fun and enjoy it, and they're all together, and they agree on a certain basing system that works for all of them. And that's a great idea for everybody. I thought so. Just adapt the rules.
That is a great idea.
To what you like, because then you're satisfied with the basing system. As long as you're not playing in tournaments. What's wrong with that?
Is there even historical game tour? Are there even tournaments for? Are there even tournaments for historical games?
Yeah, Ancients is a genre for it. You also see Bolt Action and Flames of War. They have tournaments every year at the conventions here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you know this. And Ancients, of course, that's been a thing, tournament gaming, since the 70s. There's lots
Yeah,
of
with
those.
what's the game called? DBA. That's it, DBA.
DBA, DBMM, Triumph, Saga has tournaments down here. A couple others that I can't think of at the top of my head. Warrior, that's another one, which is based on Wargame Research Group 7th edition. You know, they're buying armies with points and stuff and putting together armies with army lists and, you know, having a little friendly competition type thing. That's a thing. It's popular in Ancients, popular with Flames of War and Bolt Action. See it all the time. All right, Curtis, what room would you like us to get in on? Byron was trying to... Oh, you have to tell me you're in one, and I'll drag you in. Let me go look. Let's see. Just go to any room. The green room, for instance. The waiting room. And I'll drag you. Right, Vince? That's how you got in here. The old drag. The old drag and drop.
I'm trying to figure out how I can see my camera. There's a big delay, but
Yeah, there it is. I could tell. I'm used to it. We can navigate anything. Okay, here comes Byron. Everybody prepare yourself. Byron and Rosemary, folks. Everybody prepare yourself. I heard myself. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello! I hear Rosemary.
Hello, Curtis.
Did you chase Byron out of the house just so you could talk to me?
Oh, well, I'm guilty as charged.
There you go. There you go, folks. There you go. What are you guys
I'll let him
doing?
back
Bien
in.
dobre.
It's very cold outside.
Yeah, it is indeed. I saw you making snowmen. What's going on in Florida
Oh.
these days?
Well, that was in Alabama. A snow woman.
Oh, of course. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it.
I made an attempt. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, you got to get used to it, and you need more snow down there.
No, it wasn't that deep in my front yard, so I went straight to the ground pretty quick.
You had a good 6-7 inches to work.
Yeah.
I see Byron's ratting me out. I had enough. I just was terrible at it.
That's
I can't get away with anything.
that's about as much snow as I got, which was what, maybe 3 or 4 inches. That it looked about the same as what I got, which wasn't much. Some people got a foot of
Yeah.
snow. We didn't, but yeah.
I've never seen that much snow here, and I've lived here most of my life. So
That's crazy.
since from 95 to now, I think I've only seen like some flurries. Nothing's really stuck.
Yeah,
In 1993,
yeah.
we had 3 inches of snow in Pensacola. And I think I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, so in 93, this precedes my existence, but Byron was 11 or 12 and saw some snow.
Wow.
But it was wonderful, truly. And then we drove around earlier, and it was just like a wonderland. It was amazing. But I was not prepared for the first day we went outside and we're out in the snow. I came back inside, and it was like everything was dim. I couldn't see anymore.
Oh, yeah. That happens to me every time I walk the dog. We come in the house and we're blind. He's walking into walls. Snow blind.
Yeah, snowblind. I was unprepared. I was like, whoa, I can't see anything.
If you ever wonder why they're skiing on the mountain and stuff and they're wearing glasses, it's mostly so they won't go snowblind.
That's what Byron said. Yeah. So next time I'm going to have to prepare myself. I was wholly unprepared. And so is everyone else. No one knows how to act around here. Everyone's kind of panicking and just on on Facebook all day long. When can we leave? Are the roads open? What's open? What can we do? And
I've been chewing people out on Facebook.
Oh, and Byron's been an internet troll. He's been all day telling everyone basically to stay home. Stay put and chill out. Enjoy a couple of days off,
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic.
That's what I've been doing. I'm like, this is a great opportunity to slow down because when a hurricane comes through, I always enjoy if it's bad enough and we get a day or two off, and it's just like an unexpected day where you just get to stay in your house and slow down and hang out with your people.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's one way to see it, eh?
What was that?
You have to pardon
That's
Vince.
one way to see it.
He's a French Canadian. He's pretty thick in the accent. I know he says otherwise, but yes.
I love your accent. I just didn't catch that. I'm sorry.
Thank you, no problem. Actually, I turned out my mic is not loud enough because I had my stepdaughter in, and she's pretty loud.
Oh, okay.
So I had to adjust the mic sensitivity.
Oh, I gotcha.
Funny thing about snow, I was thinking about that earlier because we Quebecers, we had really, really warm winters for the past 10 years, and that's the first winter in many years I've seen a foot of snow outside. I remember when I was a kid, like in 2002, we had 3 or 4 foot of snow. Feet, foot, 8 foot, feet. Yeah, 3 feet of snow, and that was the norm back then.
So that was consistent, and then suddenly you just had mild winters?
Yep. Christmas on asphalt. Never seen that in my life. It's been like that a few years back, and for some reason this year we've got 5 inches because they all melted down again. But our winters are on and off. You'll get a minus 20 a day, and then a week later it'll be 3 degrees outside and everything melts.
Wow.
And then you're back to minus 25, and then it melts all over again.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's kind of a bit all over the place here. We don't really get 4 seasons. It's actually, typically our winters are very mild. I've gone to the beach on Thanksgiving and Christmas some years because it's so hot. But I looked ahead last month at the, because you can go on like AccuWeather.com and it'll give you a monthly forecast. And I just, took a look at January, and I told Byron that month is going to be insane because one day it's 40, the next day it's 65, it's raining for a week, then it's hot, and then it's going to snow one day. And I didn't think any of that would actually happen because the weather is just so, it seems unpredictable day by day, but it's been accurate, and and we didn't expect that much snow to come. But yeah, I don't know what's up with the weather. It seems very unusual this year.
Tell them to check the general chat on Discord. I just posted some photos.
Byron said he posted some photos in the general chat.
Okay.
On Discord.
Nordic said he'd like to go to the beach on Christmas. It's the best time to go here if you don't want to die of a heat stroke is definitely October, November. You can walk around and actually enjoy it. But I've lived here my whole life, so I'm over the beach culture. I'm not like a beach girl. A lot of people come here because they love the beach, but I just never go unless it's fall.
Is that your Jeep?
Yes, is that your Jeep?
Yeah, that's both.
Yes, those are Byron's Jeeps.
Jeeps, plural, huh? Oh, yeah.
Well, he's got the M98 and then OJ. He's got the orange one. Yeah. Hey, they look good covered in snow.
There she is. Little tiny snowman.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I tried. People had some impressive snowmans around here. I was definitely, but there was this post on Facebook where someone said, "Show me your sad snowman," and I was like, "I have one."
Definitely a female.
I never expected to see snowman down south of the United States.
Snow lady, Vince. Snow lady.
Oh, thank you, Nordic.
Nobody.
I gave her some snow lady assets, to really make it clear. She had
Yep, I could see
snow
that.
boobies and a snow booty. Yeah. I went out and put a swimsuit top and a hat on her after the fact.
Yeah, I
But
saw
it's
that
fallen
one.
off of her, so
Terrible,
she's
terrible.
yes.
We can't show that.
I've got a snow woman hooker in my front yard right now.
Awesome. All right.
But you had a winter wonderland, Fritz. I saw there was a video you put on your channel. You were walking through your property, I think, right?
Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, that was just a
Yeah,
little
I did.
random video of me showing me coming out of my house off my porch, checking out the recent snowfall, which was considerable. Then walking back to the new extension to my house, which is a whole new studio that I'm going to be putting in. The cat's in there and all that, and there's a kitchen and a bathroom and everything over there. And then coming out and walking around, looking at more snow. Yeah, it was good.
I loved it. I thought it was wonderful.
Thanks. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. A lot of snow, though. The first storm we had, I think it was in November, it just dumped like a foot of snow on us, and it was a wet snow. And it did so much damage to the property around here. I mean, my internet was wiped out. I had to get that put in new wiring for it. It just broke the cable.
Wow.
And all the trees, birch trees, maple trees, just the tops of them would snap right off from the pressure and being bent down towards the ground. They just would snap. So I got all this deadfall now laying on my property. I'm 4.5 acres here, which is kind of good. I got to put this effort in next year in the spring. I got to do some cutting and cleaning up, but it's going to be a lot of good prime firewood that I got to season, but I'm going to have, because I'm putting a little fireplace or a wood stove in here. So it's going to be useful.
Yeah, that was kind of a blessing then, turning into a positive.
Horrible storm, though. Wet snow.
Yeah, everyone is frantically covering, because everyone has palm trees down here.
Oh, lucky you.
So they were frantically covering. Yeah.
I'd like
it's very beachy themed.
Covered rose bushes in the front yard.
I covered all my rose bushes. So I have this huge rose garden. My garden is just like 15 to 20 rose bushes, and it says frost resistant, but this is pushing it, So I covered them all in trash bags, but I put mulch around the base, kind of keep them warm. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to clip them all down and see what comes back in the spring, if anything. I don't know.
The best time to trim your shrubs and your plants there is in the fall.
Yes, I usually do it in October. Go ahead and trim things down and remulch everything, keep it warm through the winter, and everything comes back and it's beautiful. But that's when we're having these mild, very warm winters. So everything is probably in shock right now.
Definitely.
Usually the winters here are wet and cold in the 40s and the 50s. If you're wet. Yeah,
what Byron is saying is that our winters are wet. It's very rainy, and it does get decently cold, but never cold enough to snow.
Wow.
I gotta convert 40 Fahrenheit to Canadian Celsius.
Oh.
How much is 40?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
What are you saying, Vince? Canadian Celsius?
Because I realized earlier that America it's Fahrenheit, and we Canadians we use a lot of the imperial system, to be honest, except temperature. We're all metric on that.
Huh.
So now I got to figure out what 40 Fahrenheit is.
Yeah, there's a little formula to figure it out quick. I remember that from algebra. But I don't remember that. Just use Google.
Oh. Yes,
Let's get
Google
this.
is wonderful. The mental math is not my strong suit.
Do you ever use...
That's 4 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, there you go. How do you like that?
So
I guess yesterday,
No, I'm so sorry. You go ahead.
yesterday was minus 10 Fahrenheit.
Wow. So, where you're at, how long does a winter last there? Does it start getting cold in October and then last through February?
Quebec, it's from October all the way to start of May. Yeah.
Wow.
To the start of May. Wow.
Yeah. I remember the 28th, May 28th, 2017. It was snowing.
That's insane. It is so hot here in May. I can't even imagine.
Have you ever been up north?
May is nicest time around.
Have you ever been up north, Rosemary? I don't think you have.
I have been briefly to Poughkeepsie, New York, but it wasn't cold. I don't remember. I was 18, and it was for a funeral, so we were just there very briefly. I've been to Gatlinburg during Christmas, and there were some flurries, but nothing stuck. And then I've been to Chico, California, and that's pretty much all the places
Chico.
I've gone to visit. It's very sad. I need to go more places. I need to see more places than just down here.
Where's Chico, California?
Chico.
Is that SoCal or in the north?
It's near SoCal, I believe. But it was very rural. There was just lots of land with like orchards and just apple farms, just things like that, and it just felt very country. In that part that I was at, I was there to with my brother. We flew out there to visit his dad, and he took us. We went trekking through the mountains out there, and that was really cool. And he spins fire. He does poi, so the fire fans. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I'm sure you are. You've seen the fire dancers before.
Yeah.
And they've got the fans, or they've got the they call it poi, so they've got the wick, but it's on the end of like a chain type thing, and they spin
whip it around.
Yes. So
crazy.
my brother and his dad, because my brother lived out in California with his dad for a long time before he came to stay with us when we were teenagers. But they did that, and so I got to hang out with some of his friends and see them spin fire, and they like to go out to the mountains and do that. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was really cool. And then, of course, he was trying to convince me and Gabriel to come live out there, and I was tempted because it seemed... it didn't seem so city-like I thought, because California's so big, but in my mind, I just think of the major cities. So,
yeah, we all do pretty much, eh?
Absolutely. Oh, let's look at these photos, Norix. Oh, that's beautiful. Look, is that deer? Look at all the deer. They're so cute. Wow.
Just out of curiosity, Rosemary, how hot does it get down there in the summer?
Oh, it gets in the 90s. Yeah, close to 100, right?
We had a heat index of 105, 108 this year.
Yeah, heat index of 105 to 108 this past summer. It gets unbearable. And I work outside 6 days a week, so I'm just out in the elements. And it's, I've been doing that for 10 years, and I think this summer I don't want to be out in it. I've been thinking about that a lot. I don't think I want to be in the elements anymore.
I feel you. I mean, last summer I worked outside, emptying septic tanks, and it was One time, 90 Fahrenheit. I couldn't survive. Actually, I called my dispatcher and I told her, "Listen, I'm going home. It's too hot.
Yeah.
I can't imagine at 105. It's
Yeah.
unbearable." Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People get heat stroke out here. It happens all the time, especially in my line of work. And yeah, it just it gets to be unsafe. You know, anytime there's an extreme level of weather. I know we can't just call off work anytime, you know, the weather's inconvenient, but it really is hard to work out. And I can't even imagine emptying a septic tank. That in itself is just hard work, and then throw the heat on top of it. No, that's unbearable. I think I'd probably want to go home too.
Because see, the thing is here, when it's 90 Fahrenheit in Quebec, we get warnings and stuff. It's like the end of the world for us. Just like if you'd get a feet of snow, be like, just everybody stay home. It's not worth it. Stay home.
Yes.
Oh,
I
what
was
great,
checking the
great
chat
pictures.
here. I went back to it.
Little
Oh yes, I have seen a flock of deer because I'm always out working. I work out in like this. So where I live, there's an adjacent town that's like out kind of more in the country area, and so lots of wooded areas, and I'm out there all day, and I'll see deer just out and about all the time. But they're beautiful and they're so quick though. I never really get to like behold them. Like they're just very swift. But I love them. Yep, that's his sister's horse. Oh yeah, I can't remember the breed. It's going to be a huge, like insanely big.
It's for nights.
Yes, it's for night.
Yeah, it carries nights. That's the purpose of a horse. It's a French breed of draft horse.
Huh.
And then she named it. She gave it a French name that I think it's Otilier.
Percheron.
A Percheron. Percheron.
Yeah,
Percheron.
Yeah. Oh, he said it beautifully. Yeah, she gave it a French name, and Otilier, and because she very much likes French. She took French, she said, when she was in school, and so she likes the French language. And Byron did not like that name when she first said it, so he was like, "I'll call him Odie."
I like that, Odie.
Oh, he's watching Willow.
Oh yeah, that's Willow. I don't think Willow knew what to do. This is Willow. This is who I'm in competition with, Curtis. So
Yeah, I
you
see
know,
that.
Willow came around. She has a home, but ever since I bought this house, she has always loved being at my house. I walked outside on my back porch, like one evening after shortly after I'd moved in, and I had put a cat bed for my cat at the time out back, and I come out and there's just this cat laying in our cat bed. She's on her back, she's sprawled out, she's made herself at home, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And so I go and I meet her and I pet her, and I go back inside my house, and she lunges at me and she bites my ankles, and I'm afraid of this cat. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I've never had this happen to me. And so I finally, I try to distract her, and then I run in my house, and, and she comes back the next day and the next day, and she just does this biting thing whenever I go to leave her. And she doesn't really do it too much anymore. Occasionally she'll nip at me, but I just think she really wanted some company. Yeah. I don't think her owners ever let her inside. I've never seen them let her go in. So
well, she's got new owners.
Yeah, so now we have adopted her. Oh, Nordic is leaving. I'm gonna make dinner. I'll catch you lovely people later. Okay, Nordic, you have a good evening. It was nice talking.
Later.
Take care, Nordic. Talk to you soon.
Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock. I've got to wake up at 5 tomorrow morning, so
Okay, Vince.
I'm gonna wish you a nice evening to y'all.
Just so you know, before you go, I do these every day, Monday through Saturday, usually around this time or a little bit earlier. So I usually post the links in Tabletop Commanders. You're always welcome to pop in.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, and we'll see each other tomorrow, actually.
For sure, for sure. Thanks.
It's very nice to talk to you.
Very nice to meet you all, and how do you say that in English?
See ya.
Happy evening? No, that doesn't make sense. Good evening.
Good evening.
There you go.
Have a nice evening.
There you go.
All right.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.
Said
See y'all.
with class. Toodaloo.